salute. Well, I try to get this right, guys. We got a mass unaliving. We got a mass gunman, you know what I'm saying, in Minneapolis, guys. As well as the Cardi B. Y'all know Cardi B coming up. Most definitely got her as well. But this situation here just popped off. Most definitely trying to see what's going on. Say it happened at a Catholic school, guys. Yeah, mass gunman at a Catholic school in Minneapolis, guys. Most definitely waiting on other reports to come in. This is basically like the press conference they're getting ready to have. If they don't have it by the time Cardi comes on, we most definitely shift over there, man. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. Make sure y'all double tapping that screen. Most definitely get those likes up. Mass shooting in Minneapolis, Minnesota, guys. Make sure y'all double tapping that screen. Most definitely get those likes up as we get ready for them to come brief us on what exactly it is that's going on. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. Happened at a Catholic school. Just happened right now. As I prepare for Cardi B, guys. Y'all know we got Cardi B coming up here in a minute. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. Get those likes up. Double tap that screen. I got a feeling somebody gonna try to hit me up. Let me take care of that. Yep, put it right on Do Not Disturb. This situation is taking place in Minneapolis, guys. They about to give us some live updates. Shout out to everybody in the building as we wait on the Cardi B trial to begin. This took place in Minneapolis, Minnesota, guys. Well, basically in Minnesota at a Catholic school. I hope everybody is blessed this morning. Shout out to everybody in the building, man.
That you get a kind of gut feeling of the rhythm of the way these things work. And again, as we talked about earlier, sadly, law enforcement agencies, the interagency response is incredible. The work that they do, the way that they practice this down to the second to make sure that they are in place where they need to be in any situation. And again, this is the worst of it for them. And our thoughts are with all the first responders, those who are helping the families at this point. There's just so many people involved in a tragedy like this. I'll go over some of the numbers that we have really here quick because the Department of Justice is confirming through Reuters this number we keep seeing of a total of 20 people injured. Again, we don't know if that includes
20 people injured, guys.
that includes, but a total of 20 people injured, which could include students, school staff, church staff. Okay, 20 people injured is the big picture of the number that we're getting from the DOJ via Reuters. The Associated Press reporting that 5 children are being treated. So we can make that assumption of the 20, at least 5 of them are children. And then the last number that we're getting here is 3 people dead, which includes the shooter. So presumably the shooter and 2 other people. Again, we don't know if those are adults or
can y'all hear that?
Their role would be in all of this, but
let me know if y'all can hear what she's saying.
People injured, at least 5 of which are children being treated this morning.
5 children hurt, 20 people injured.
From law enforcement coming out, but we've got our camera locked in on where this news conference was set to happen about 20 minutes ago, and you can understand it's in just a fluid situation. They want to make sure when they come out that they have the latest information.
Can y'all hear that?
Of what they can give us.
Drop a 1 if you can hear what she's saying.
An hour ago, it was a much different situation out here. Amy, I think you'll agree with me when you were seeing those families reunified and leaving the scene, and it looks like a lot of that now is wrapped up. And I would assume a lot of those buildings now, it's really just law enforcement, city officials. We saw the fire department out there, EMS officials, but now they've gotten a lot of folks that they can out of there so that they can continue their investigation. And I did write down the time at that point because
this is taking place in Minneapolis, guys, in Minnesota.
So if the call came in about 8:20.
5 children injured.
It was about 9.
I mean, 5 children. 20 people total. We know that 5 of them is children right now.
Short amount of time. It is, yes. In a scenario like this. So that was about that timeline, and we saw parents who were kind of running up to the crime scene tape, and they were, maybe being told a few things, but I didn't really see anybody able to go in until a little bit later, and then suddenly we just started to see them trickling out with their children, just about everybody holding their children's hand, walking them out, ages anywhere from, as you mentioned, like kindergarten all the way up to, we probably saw maybe 5th, 6th, 7th grade level aged children coming out of there, and just, again, that happening in real time and watching that and seeing them walk right past all of these cameras and folks, concerned neighbors lined up on the streets just wanting to be there for them in some way, shape, or form. It was really, really heart-wrenching. So many hugs, so many tears, people hugging the law enforcement officers who were also there lining the crime scene tape as well. It's been a really,
shout out to Bless for that 15. Thank you, Bless.
We're taking a look at some of the video I'm describing, just powerful images and something you just
we finna go to it. Hold on.
To your point, Amy, I mean, for these families and these students between that 8:27
when
the first call came in and this.
Yeah, we finna teleport over here to where it's going on there. Hold on. Give me a second. Let me pull it up. Hold up.
When we take a look at the big picture,
they taking too long. Hold up.
When you kind of learn the rhythm or the way that things go, about an hour and 15 minutes after
hold
the
up.
call came
I
in,
got us. Here we come.
Those students leave.
Men already letting those students leave is a sign to us, at least, that of what we're hearing from officials, that the immediate threat was tampered down pretty quickly, and they were able to get. We understand a lot of the students from what we believe they were in the church for mass, get them to the school gymnasium to kind of regroup. Who knows? That could be part of their planned emergency response. But at least getting those kids out of there, getting them reunited with their families, and now getting all of them off of campus so that they can continue their investigation.
Yeah, just to reiterate, this is video from a little bit earlier this morning. It was about 9:45 is when those families started coming out, and this is the live scene nearby where we are anticipating a news conference that will be happening. The mayor, I think, is starting to walk up, and the police chief, Brian O'Hara, and the Hennepin County Sheriff. We can see them right there. So as they approach the podium, again, the very latest, we understand 5 people being treated and 3 dead, including the shooter. Let's get some more information from the officials now.
3 people alive, guys.
There are no words that can capture the horror and the evil of this unspeakable act. Children are dead. There are families that have a deceased child. You cannot put into words the gravity, the tragedy,
Some of
or
them
the
were
absolute
children,
pain
guys.
of this situation. We are a Minneapolis family. But to everybody out there, do not think of these as just somebody else's kids. Those families are suffering immense pain right now. Think of this as if it were your own. Every one of us needs to be wrapping our arms around these families, giving them every ounce that we can muster. These were Minneapolis families. These were
Prayers for
American
those babies,
families.
guys. Prayers for those babies.
And the amount of pain that they are suffering right now is extraordinary. And don't just say this is about thoughts and prayers right now. These kids were literally praying. It was the first week of school. They were in a church. These are kids that should be learning with their friends. They should be playing on the playground. They should be able to go to school or church in peace without the fear or risk of violence, and their parents should have the same kind of assurance. These are the sort of basic assurances that every family should have, every step of the day, regardless of where they are in our country. I'm so deeply saddened, and I'm so sorry to the families that I know are suffering right now. My ask is to everyone, stand by them. Love them. These families have forever been changed, and we've all been changed with them. We need to do everything possible to support them through this time. We have a family resource center that has been set up. I'm grateful for all of the law enforcement agencies from a number of different jurisdictions, and all the different departmental support that we've received. They're going to be working tirelessly. There's also a family resource center that is being set up as we speak to make sure that we're there for everybody.
This is crazy, guys. This is in Minnesota.
Again, to the families that are
3
suffering,
children
to
unalive
those
in
that
a
have
Catholic
experienced
school.
loss, I'm so deeply sorry. We're going to be with you
20
every step of the
people
way.
injured.
We love you.
5 of them children.
This kind of act of evil should never happen, and it happens far too often. The chief will provide additional details.
My name is Brian O'Hara, B-R-I-A-N, O''H-A-R-A. I am the Minneapolis Police Chief. Earlier today, just before 8:30 a.m., our city experienced an unthinkable tragedy. Minneapolis police officers responded to a report of a shooting at a mass that was happening at the Annunciation Roman Catholic Church on the block behind me. This worship service was marking the first week of school for children that are attending the Annunciation Catholic School. During the mass, a gunman approached on the outside on the side of the building and began firing a rifle through the church windows.
Wow.
Towards the children sitting in the pews at the mass.
Guys.
Shooting through the windows, he struck children and worshipers that were inside the building. The shooter was armed with a rifle, a shotgun, and a pistol. This was a deliberate act of violence against innocent children and other people worshiping. The sheer cruelty and cowardice of firing into a church full of children is absolutely incomprehensible. Police officers from the Minneapolis Police Department immediately responded, entered the church, and attempted to provide first aid and rescue some of the children that were hiding throughout the building, while other first responders came and EMS responded to rush victims to nearby hospitals. 2 young children,
He was firing through the
ages
windows,
8 and
guys.
10,
This is in
were killed
Minneapolis.
where they sat in the pews. Their parents have been notified. 17 other people were injured, 14 of them being children.
14 children, guys.
2 of those children are in critical condition. The coward who fired these shots ultimately took his own life in the rear of the church. Our hearts are broken for the families who have lost their children, for these young lives that are now fighting to recover, and for our entire community that has been so deeply traumatized by this senseless attack. We will stand together to protect our children, our schools, and our houses of worship. This deliberate act of violence is just a sign of cruelty that is beyond comprehension. Our hearts are broken for everyone that's been affected by this tragedy. As we begin the difficult path of healing,
make sure y'all
I
double
want the
tap
community
that
to know
screen,
this,
get the lights up.
that even in the face of such evil, the Minneapolis Police Department and all of our law enforcement partners stand with our community. We stand with these families and with this parish. We will continue to be here for you. With that, the investigation is obviously in its preliminary stages, and I will attempt to take some questions to provide further information.
Chief, what can you tell us about the suspect in this case? How old was he? Any kind of motivation? Any notes or any other information about him?
So we were looking, the question was, what can be said about the shooter? We believe it is one suspect, a sole shooter. We believe he is deceased. He is in his early 20s, does not have an extensive known criminal history, and we are looking through information left behind to try and determine some type of motive. Yeah.
Wow, guys.
How many children? There were
So sad.
I don't have an exact. The question was how many children at the school. There were dozens of children inside the mass at the time. I don't have an exact count. The children have been relocated into the school, which is where their families are reunifying with them.
Other than the weapon,
Prayers for them babies. Prayers for them babies, guys.
The question was, do we know if the shooter was a former school employee or a former student? We don't have that information.
did you leave anything behind other than the weapon?
There's a vehicle. The question was anything left behind? There's a vehicle that we believe that the suspect used that is being searched, and we will be conducting other searches related to this. Inside the parking lot here.
There was some neighbors who said that the door to the church has been barricaded.
Yep.
Is that correct?
So the question was, neighbors had said that the door to the church had been barricaded. The shooter approached on one side of the church building, and on that side, at least two doors, it appears there had been like a 2x4 placed. So not all of the doors around the building, but on the side where the shooter did fire.
on the outside.
On the
Hey,
outside,
Miss
yes.
Lee.
The question was there any explosives? There were reports of that. There were no explosives or improvised devices that we found. I do believe there was one, I guess you would call it a smoke bomb, like not an explosive, but a sort of a firework that would release smoke.
Which side of the building? North, south?
The side that is closest to us, here, on this side. Yep.
Is it related?
Wow.
I don't have specific information on that I can release.
Gunshot wound, this suspect?
Yeah, the question was, is he dead from a gunshot wound? The answer is yes. We believe he took his own life in the parking lot.
Was this outside or both inside that he was shooting?
The question was he shooting outside and inside? He was absolutely shooting outside of the building on the side of the church, inside through the windows. It appears he may have gone inside, but I don't believe we've located any casings inside the building. So I'm not certain if he fired also while inside. It appears, if not all, most of the shooting happened outside the building.
Shooting related to any other shootings that happened in the last 24 hours?
Yeah, Taylor's asking, is this related to any of the other shootings? This does not appear to be related to any other shooting in the city.
No, how many rounds were fired?
The question was how many rounds? I would say it's in the dozens. We don't have an exact count. There's a sidewalk on the outside as well as a grassy area. So obviously we are going through and taking our time to process the scene.
Was he firing just one weapon, like the rifle, or?
The question was he firing one weapon? We believe he had fired all three. He had a rifle, a shotgun and a pistol.
Wow.
Were the weapons, was he lawfully carrying the weapons? I don't have that information. And I don't have any information on any significant criminal history either.
Was he dressed at all in any tactical type of gear?
It appeared he had some black clothing on, his cargo type pants. I guess you could interpret that as, you know, however you like.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for helping us to get the information out today. We have a lot more work that needs to be done. We will return back later today to provide more details as they become available, and we'll let you know how you can know about that in a moment to come. Thank you. How can the public help?
Great. Wow, guys.
Watching a news conference there
Two children
by
unalive,
Mayor Jacob Fry and the
17
police
others
chief as
injured.
well.
13
Last question
of
there,
the
how can the
other
public
ones
help?
are
I think one of
children
the
as
big things
well.
we're hearing from everybody is just avoid this area. This is Annunciation Catholic School and Church, and I'm Amy Hockert. Simone Woolridge joining me now as we continue our coverage of just a horrific morning here and this mass shooting at Annunciation Catholic School, and now that we've learned that it actually was in the nearby building, which was the church.
And we have some information here about, you know, some of these victims. We now know that an 8 and 10-year-old child were killed as they sat in the pews of this church. The police chief just kind of walking us through a timeline here after they got the call.
Prayers for these babies, man. Prayers for the babies.
After 8:30 or so this morning, we know that that gunman approached the side of the building and shot through the windows, hitting some of the children and the worshipers inside. We now know that that shooter had a rifle, a shotgun, and a pistol, and the chief saying that he believes
that screen, get the lights
all
up.
three
Subscribe
of
to
those guns.
the channel
He just
if
calls
you're
this, you know, incomprehensible. Now, MPD also entered and provided first aid to some of those children and those victims as they were hiding from the gunmen. Some more numbers to report to you this morning. We know 17 were injured. 14 of those did take his own life.
We weren't sure, did this happen at the school, did this happen at the church? We now know that this happened during Mass, and Mayor Jacob Fry, something he said that really was pretty powerful. He said, don't say this is about thoughts and prayers right now. These kids were literally praying. And just a horrific image to think about as the chief of the details of what happened there
this is live,
this morning.
kids.
About 8:30 this morning is when the first reports came in. I will say it was about 9:45 or so, a short time later, when we did see families starting to actually leave the school and retrieving their children and taking them home. So relatively quick, situation here where they were able to get in and reunite some of these families. But as both the chief and the mayor said, there are families who are grieving right now because they have lost loved ones. An 8-year-old and a 10-year-old have died.
And dozens of kids were, inside Mass at the time, and they have been relocated inside of the school. The chief said to reunite with family. The mayor said that they are in the process of setting up a family resource center right now so that, people can be reunited. And we did, Amy, learn a little more about this shooter. The chief did say that he believes this is one suspect. We know that the shooter is in his early 20s. He said no known criminal history. Of course, they are just kind of combing through that right now, but they are working to learn a motive. Now, one of the questions asked was, and I think anyone would ask this, did he have some sort of relationship, to Annunciation Catholic School? What was, the motive here? So the chief said that is something that they are working to learn right now. He did, though, leave behind a vehicle that is currently being searched, that the shooter did leave behind. And we also, I think, Amy, you've been here all morning. We've been reporting that he has been in black clothing. He did mention that. He said some sort of cargo plans, but again, in that black attire. So if you just kind of just try to picture it right now, you picture children inside praying.
Double tap that screen,
comes
get the
to
lights
the side
up.
of the building, starts shooting from the outside windows, and he did say there was some sort of barricades on the outsides as well.
It's chilling, He said there were some, 2x4s, maybe some sort of wood that was blockading the door from the outside. presumably so that people couldn't escape
Prayers
that
for
way
them
as well.
babies,
It's just,
guys.
again,
Prayers
some
for the
really chilling
babies.
details here
It happened at a Catholic
on
church.
what police say happened inside Annunciation Catholic School, and of course, our thoughts. And we have to say it. No thoughts and prayers. I get it, Mayor Fry. I get it. But also, there's nothing we can do sitting here other than if you pray.
Yep.
Think. Don't forget what is going on right now. Take a moment and think about what is actually happening in our.
I don't know who you think you talking to, talking about some lights. This is serious. We know it's serious, and I'm bringing you the coverage. Most definitely double tap that screen and get the lights up. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Man, it's been a mass situation in Minneapolis at a Catholic school, guys. 17 people injured, 2 of them being little ones, and yeah, man, two of them was unalive.
This community's instinct to help. We've been out here since shortly after this happened, and I'm getting a little emotional about it because, I saw so many people rushing out here, not trying to get in there and get information, but to try to help their neighbors. My brother's next door neighbors were over here just hugging everybody as they came out. I saw another neighbor who came and brought 2 dogs to let children pet a dog on their way out from this thing. I saw another random man just kind of walk up here and dump a crate of water. I'll get more to y'all on that a little bit later because I know we got one more thing to do. 6 a.m. this morning. That gave us time to mobilize all of our resources and prepare our teams. We are a level 1 trauma center, and we prepare and we train for this. Having said that these incidents are never easy. We've had 2 in the last 24 hours that have occurred.
Man, this is sad, guys. Just terrible.
The one today, we received a total of 11 patients from this incident. 2 of them were adult patients, 9 pediatric patients. 4 of them required the operating room. And up to this point in time, there have been no fatalities related to any of those patients that were brought to our organization. I want to take a moment to tell you how proud I am to work for this organization and the teams that were involved, the resources, again, that were mobilized, our surgical colleagues, our medicine colleagues, our amazing nursing staff, our psychologists that help process these events for us, environmental services, all those involved. Hennepin EMS brought in all the critical patients from that scene to our organization, and we were very lucky to have 2 emergency medical services directors that were on scene and able to provide us with really important information that again helped us to prepare for this event. So I don't have any individual or specific information about the patients at this time for you, so that's all I can share. Thank you for being here. Any questions?
You said they were in critical condition?
7 were brought in as critical patients, and at this time, I don't know the updates on what the conditions are of many of them. 4 of them required the operating room, as I said.
There was a baby?
There were, again, 9 of the 11 patients were pediatric ages. I can't remember the exact name, the exact ages of the
Shout out to Christy for gifting that.
That's the range.
What types of teams you had working this morning, how many people it takes to treat a patient?
Yeah, whenever that type of a page goes out, again, it really puts into motion a lot of big response from all of the teams. And so because we're a level 1 trauma center, we have to, mobilize certain types of resources like, operating rooms and the surgical services. We have to have emergency providers and nurses to, mobilize things like the laboratory and the blood bank. So there's a lot of planning, and again, a lot of exercises we do throughout the year to prepare for these events. And unfortunately, we respond to many of them throughout the year.
Can you talk about the injuries at all, or any type of what you're seeing here with some of these patients?
I can't get into specifics, but we are dealing with gunshot wound injuries from apparently a high velocity weapon. And, gunshot wounds can be very problematic because they involve body systems, and they require a lot of resources to manage.
This is happening in Minneapolis,
we
Minnesota,
see a lot of gunshot
guys.
wounds here at Hennepin Healthcare, and we're among the best in the nation every year at managing penetrating trauma. So we are used to seeing them.
Where the status of the 11? Are any of them still in surgery?
I don't know the status of that. I can't share that with you at this time.
Was anyone shot more than one?
I can't share that information with you at this time.
Can you confirm the families of some of the victims that made their way here?
Yeah, we've had quite a bit of effort to stand up a unit across the street here in our clinical specialty care building. And so, to my knowledge, almost all of the families and loved ones have been reunited with patients and other status.
Do you know if anyone is being treated at any other locations?
My understanding was we had a lot of the non-critical patients that went to Children's Hospital, and I believe one went to Masonic Children's Hospital as well. I don't know the status of any of those patients.
Can you speak to the toll it takes on physicians here perhaps to handle these types of cases, the fast handle the case within hours?
Yeah, it does take a toll. Thank you for asking that. Asking that question. I think again, we have psychologists that we have dedicated to our emergency department to help with our providers and our nurses and other workers that manage these types of events. Again, we've had 2 mass casualty events happen in the last 24 hours. I mean, that does take a toll.
Oh, wow.
But we
2
also
in the
have
last
to
24 hours, guys.
We are here as a critical resource for our
This is the
community.
second one.
And we have to take time to process, these the care that we deliver in these situations, and we have to be able to move forward because we are obviously needed.
And none of those patients have been discharged?
Not to my knowledge.
You said there were 11 total, and 9 of them were pediatrics ages 6 to 14, but 7 were in critical condition. Are all of those that are pediatric, those 6 to 14, are all of those in critical condition, or the ones that are older also in critical condition?
I don't want to misspeak here. I believe that all of the pediatric patients were the ones that were in a critical condition. Yes.
Did I get my numbers right?
You did.
Can you give us your specific title one more time, Doctor?
Thank you for that grip.
Thomas Wyatt, Chair of Emergency Medicine at Hennepin Healthcare.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Check out our newsroom too, because I will be posting the exact information on the patients, their conditions, just those general conditions and the numbers. The Hennepin Healthcare Newsroom. Thanks for coming.
All right, we were just listening to a press conference being held primarily by Dr. Tom Wyatt from HCMC. Of course, they have been through a lot the last few hours responding to the shooting at Annunciation Catholic Church in Minneapolis. So he just kind of walked us through what they have been going through the last couple of hours or so. So for those who don't know, HCMC is a level 1 trauma center. So this is pretty much what they train to do, to deal with some of these victims, these gunshot victims. And they have had to, Amy, deal with 2, mass shootings in the last 24 hours or so.
Two in the last 24 hours,
the
guys.
emotional
That is sad.
and just emotional, physical toll, I should say, that it takes on some of them. We are learning that 11 patients from the incident that happened at Annunciation Catholic School were taken there, 2 of them adults. We know 9 pediatric patients, ages 6 to 14, they have treated there today, and 4 were in the operating room. He did say, though, that no fatalities that he knows of right now for those children that are being treated there.
Yeah, we do know, though, the chief had said, if you're just joining us, Chief O'Hara told us that there have been 2 deaths, 2 victims, and then also we have the death of the shooter as well, who, according to the police chief, looks like took his own life. And the ages of those children who have been killed, 8 and 10 years old. The age range, sorry, I don't know if you had mentioned this, the age range of the children, 6 to 14, at HCMC right now being treated, and obviously such a fluid situation. 7 brought in as critical, but things change in a second. So we can stay on top of that and let you know what the conditions are, that we have some more information about that. We'll bring you up to speed, but really focusing in on on those who have been affected by this right now. Just thinking about these parents and not just the families, the first responders who are there, the medical staff that is treating these folks as well. Just a really traumatic, horrific day that you just hope never happens in your community, and you never think you're going to be here talking about it happening in your own backyard, and yet here we are. The ripple effect.
So this is the second one, y'all, in one day. 2 mass situations in one day in Minnesota, guys. Prayers for these little ones, man, that were unalived at a Catholic school. 17 injured and 2 children have passed, guys. Put the prayer hands in the chat for them babies. This is terrible.
It started Monday.
And to think that this happened while they were sitting there praying, you mentioned the ages of the children, 8 to 10 years old that were killed. They were in the pews of the church. This shooter came from the side, as the police chief describes it, comes to the side of the church and shoots through a window. And he set up some barricades as well. So just to try to imagine and wrap your head around these families sending their children to school, and the children are literally praying. And you mentioned what the mayor said, like, okay, we always say thoughts and prayers, right? But these kids were literally praying.
Yeah.
What can you do at this point?
I know, and that is the helpless feeling that we all have and continue to have after each of these. So right now, I think just focusing on those who are hurting right now. How can we help them? Clearly, law enforcement asking us to stay out of these areas. So please, that's one thing you can do if you're in this area. Rob Olson has been there, one of the many crews that we have around the area. So Rob, checking in with you now after the HCMC presser and some of the information we learned from the police chief and also the mayor of Minneapolis. What have you got?
Yeah, we have now been moved about a half a block north of the school. That is the school entrance here at 54th. And I kind of lost my bearings now where we are, but we are directly north of the school here. That news conference taking place a couple blocks that way. And I will tell you that the way that this is arranged here, there's no way to get from here to there directly without going a long way around, because there's so much of this everywhere, for good reason, obviously, as they continue this investigation around here. So a little less activity down there.
Make sure you double tapping that screen, guys. Get the likes up, and most definitely subscribe to the channel if you're new. This is Everything News. We're covering the situation happening right now in Minneapolis, guys. They have suffered 2 mass shooting situations in the last 24 hours. This one right here was at a Catholic church. 17 children hurt, 2 unalive, guys. So sad.
You may have heard the chief allude to, looking for potentially other supplies that the gunman had here. One of the neighbors here said that they had told her that they were looking again in case anything had been stashed in the yards in terms of other weapons or other supplies here, just to clear that out, to make sure that that's okay. I've not heard again if they found anything additional in here, but it was a very, very thorough search with canines throughout these buildings and in the alley, throughout the parking lot, around all the cars, and then thoroughly through all the yards of homes for blocks here, which is what made it then difficult for us to even move out of here, because they really locked it down even further as they were continuing that very thorough sweep of all the properties around here and tighten things up again for the media and for other folks around here. So again, we've been moved further away as they continue to the investigation down here. See a number of people continuing to go in and out of the school. Just behind me, that was the family reunification. A number of earlier today, as you've seen in the video, a number of parents walking their very young children out of there, coming to get them, and just with stunned looks on their faces. Some of them were very much more emotional looks on their faces too. But so this continues to be very, very active presence down here as they continue to make sure that they have checked every nook and cranny around here for any additional evidence here related to what occurred here this morning.
Yeah, it's kind of like an all-hands-on-deck situation right now. We know, of course, these families are hurting, but so is this community. So many people around this area, these neighbors all wondering what happened. I mean, just to think of the how much of this area is kind of just taken over right now by this crime tape and by these police officers.
A lot of concern there.
Yeah, of course.
Rob, too, you know, this is as just even a parent who has a kid either in school right now or starting school next week. It just shakes you to your core, and perhaps a lot of really difficult conversations that will have to be had here in families.
Yeah, certainly, you know, and talking to some of the neighbors here who, you know, they said they couldn't hear anything because it's just far enough away in the church, which is another block or half a block to the east here. And of course, a lot of homes buttoned up. So people here say they didn't hear anything until the police response came in full force. But, you know, they either talked to some people who either had children here at one point or they have friends who have children here. One of the neighbors I was talking to has got a good friend that's got a preschooler that was just starting here. So certainly a lot of connections in this neighborhood, either people who had children there at one point or know somebody who does, or certainly just feels a strong connection because they live right around this church and this school. So it's, you know, it really hits hard for people here too, even if they don't have a student there, because they know somebody who does, or they've known people who did. It's real tough.
Yeah, it's definitely a tough day here in our city. Rob Olson reporting live from the scene there. Rob, we'll check in with you shortly. We want to get to Corin. Corin was actually, you know, in the middle of speaking before we had to take that press conference. Corin, we understand, you know, some city council members have made their way out there as well. What are you seeing where you are, and what are you hearing?
Yeah, I do see three of them right over here. I see Koski, Palmisano, and Council President Payne right there. And so they're just getting a briefing at the moment. And, you know, they just, this is Palmisano's district, I believe. Koski's is right nearby as well. But, you know, before I left you the last time, I did want to kind of bring us back to that, if you don't mind. I was talking about just kind of the instinct that people had to help. I mentioned, you know, a guy brought dogs for kids to pet as they were leaving here. My brother's next door neighbors coming out here and just coming to hug everybody as they were leaving. A guy bringing a crate of water for people just in case they needed it. I talked to the owner of South Lindale Liquors, which is just across the way here, and he offered all of the help he could possibly offer to anybody. And, you know, some of the family members are actually over there staying cool right now and getting some food and drinks. But also talked to a boy who lives just down the street here. He's actually a student at Annunciation. He broke his arm last week, and he re-injured himself last night, and so he didn't go to school today.
I know this is sad, but could y'all please click those three dots, hit that thumbs up, guys. Support the channel by hitting the like button and subscribing if you are new, man. This is happening in Minnesota. Man, this is sad, y'all, but most definitely get those likes up.
And covering this story, and I was just shocked. You know, it's not the best paper airplane I've ever seen in my life, but again, he did it with one arm, and just the gesture was so touching. But you know, he's a lucky kid this morning. He had two classmates.
Anybody coming in talking about not hitting that like button, block them. Don't time them out. Don't erase their comments. Just block them from the chat. We don't need them here if they're not trying to hit the like button and support the channel.
He's able to be outside and thanking reporters for their coverage. Once again, you know, the council members gathering here right now. There's a fourth. Aisha Chuktai, I believe, is here as well. So they are just kind of gathering information and trying to figure out what they can do. But you know, you got the details there from Chief O'Hara and Mayor Fry earlier. So that is basically what they're going to do. But they, you know, had been on alert about this all morning. They, one of them was actually the person who told me that there was the potential of an IED, which as it turned out was probably a smoke bomb. But, they had high concerns about more than just a single shooter for a time there. But, now we're hearing it's one guy with a rifle and a shotgun and a pistol. And so, again, I was talking to you about this instinct to help, and I know this entire community it came out here, out of curiosity, but also out of concern for their neighbors. Most of them did hear this. I just talked to another man here who said, it was so loud. He had like no idea that it was gunfire because it was so loud, and he thought it was more than 100 shots. So he kind of mirrored what my brother's next door neighbor told me, which is she thought it was probably somebody doing a roofing project. This guy told me he thought it was a nail gun, and just the sheer volume of gunfire kind of, surprised everybody. I think you guys have mentioned that this isn't a neighborhood that, is used to this kind of activity. And so it was shocking just that it happened here, but just the way that it happened and the volume of that gunfire made it so they didn't even believe that was what was happening here. And so, as we gather more details, city council members are doing the same here. But again, this community kind of coming together in this moment of just terrible tragedy.
Gordon, I can't stop looking at that paper airplane, and if he's watching, we just want to thank that young man for making that for you. It's very sweet. A painful reminder. Maybe that's something. Maybe you can pass that on to law enforcement, and maybe they can pass it on to somebody else. We can just keep having it just be a sweet reminder of our gratitude for being here to talk about these things and to share this moment together. Corin, thank you. Appreciate it very much. I know it's been a really rough morning for you. I know your brother lives in that neighborhood, and all of us are just still, I think, in a lot of shock right now, just kind of still trying to process everything that's happened. We've lost lives. We've lost children's lives. Innocent children have experienced something that they should never, ever experience. And we say these things, and we talk about things, and especially as newscasters, we talk about this kind of thing all the time.
All the time.
And then,
prayers for them babies, guys. Prayers
you
for
hear
the
about it
babies.
happening in your own backyard, and it just takes on
a whole different meaning. And if you're
very difficult to.
Oh yeah, it's just a difficult day. If you're just joining us, we know that 2 children have been killed this morning at Annunciation Catholic School. This is in Minneapolis. We know an 8-year-old has been killed. A 10-year-old has been killed as well, as they were sitting in the pews of the church. We know the gunman approached the side of the building and shot through the windows. He hit the children and the worshipers that were there. We also know that he had 3 guns. The police chief told us he had a rifle, he had a shotgun, and he also had a pistol. And the chief believes that he did use all 3. We are also learning just a little bit more about the suspect. Of course, we are really early in this investigation, and it takes, investigators a lot of time to figure out maybe what was the motive? Who was this person? Did he have an extensive criminal history? We do know that the police chief did say that he did not have a known criminal history. We do not know the relationship between maybe this gunman and this particular school. But we do know that investigators right now are searching the vehicle that he did leave behind. Right now, you're looking at more of the people just coming out of the crime scene there, presumably some family members of some of the children.
Yeah, what's interesting is initially for the first hour and a half or so, there were references to the school itself, and it's a little confusing because there's the school, there's a little grove of trees, and within walking distance, maybe a few I don't know, 15, 20 steps, then you're at the church, and it's separate but very, very close. And so initially we had heard that the reunification center was in the school, which was really odd because we thought, why would the reunification area be where potentially a shooting had happened? And then, as we've learned here through the morning, that of course it happened at the church next door. nearby. And so at 8:27 is when that call came in this morning, and crews on scene almost, within minutes, immediately, because our crews also were dispatched within minutes of hearing that this may be potentially an active shooter situation. And already they had set up the perimeter when we arrived, and they train for these things. This interagency support team that comes together, and they just respond in a way that is so just by the second. They know exactly where to be and what to do. Interestingly, this is in a church situation and not a traditional school building where children might have been in separate classrooms. You have, hallways. You have a different layout. This is, if you think about, and I don't know exactly what it looks like in this space, but if you think about it, a chapel. I went to Catholic school. I know exactly what that chapel looks like in my head, and I'm thinking about a very vast, wide open space. And then, as you said, the shooting came from the outside in through the window. Yeah. This is not somebody who is going to be stopped by metal detectors. No. How the questions around how do we stop people like this who would not have been stopped by metal detectors? Yeah.
This is the second mass situation in 24 hours for Minnesota, guys. Very sad, man. The second one. And this one involves little ones, guys. 17 injured and 2 little ones unalive, 8 and 10 years old. So sad, man. It's sad. Wow. My heart goes out to the families.
Questions for you?
Yeah.
I was thinking also, Amy, when we talk about the shooter, the chief did mention that the shooter did take his own life. We know that shooter was in his early 20s. I believe he said the shooter took his own life in the back of the church. Now, we don't know if that was, inside of the school at that point, assuming that it was still on the outside, if he was shooting from the outside of the building.
Yeah, they talked, sorry to interrupt you, they mentioned too that the question was asked, was the shooter shooting from the inside as well? And the answer was a little bit vague, because they said we're still searching. So far, they hadn't found any shell casings inside, so they believe the majority, if not all of the shooting happened from the outside in. So not exactly sure where the shooter took his own life. The chief calling this person a coward. Clearly, we just want to make sure we understand. A lot of times, I don't even like mentioning names or recognizing, the names of these people.
Some people do it for that, Yeah. Some people do it for some sort of recognition for this, right?
Cowardice act.
Exactly. But as you've been seeing, through our live pictures, these are families, these are children, people's real lives. Also, the officers, we're seeing, of course, multiple agencies respond to this today, and we have to definitely think about some of their families as well. We heard from Dr. Tom Wyatt. He's with HCMC. This is where some of the victims were taken. He did kind of, hint on the emotional, psychological toll that this takes. And so he mentioned that they do have psychologists that are dedicated to these kind of emergency responses. We know they have been dealing with, 2 mass shootings in the last 24 hours. And so you think of the emotional toll it takes on them. Just with this particular incident at Annunciation Catholic School, we know 11 patients from this incident were taken to HCMC, 2 of them adults. He did mention 9 pediatric patients, ages 6 to 14. These are young children we're talking about here. And when we talk about just the school in general, Amy, K through 8th grade? Little kids. We've been taking live photos of some of those kids and their families walking, past the crime tape and hugging them tightly, holding their hands. You can only imagine, if you are a parent, you feel everything that they're feeling right now.
And early on, too, as our crews were there, as the parents were just starting to arrive, we saw the first parents arriving and talking with the law enforcement behind the crime tape, and you could see,
this type of thing gotta stop, guys. What can we do to stop things like this from happening, man, at a school, man, to little ones? My heart goes out to the parents, man. I got kids in school right now, and Lord forbid anything like this ever happens with them, man. This is sad, man. This is sad. I swear to God. Oh, my God, man. Prayers for them babies, man.
An opportunity for those parents to go in relatively quickly and get their children out and away from campus. And I don't know, Ryan, if we have that video, if we want to show
some of the parents and families. And again, our Court Hoggard was there with one of our photojournalists and mentioned just how difficult it was to. And again, this is not about us, but you're there with a camera, and these children and their parents are walking by. And
he said, I didn't want to be intrusive.
So it felt very intrusive, and we all kind of feel the same way. And at the same time, as somebody who just cares about our community and the safety of our children, you feel like you almost kind of want to soak it up. You want to see what's happening so that hopefully it spurs change. Hopefully something good can come out of a tragedy like this. So we'll show you some of that video here in just a little bit. And again, we have crews in different areas here at HCMC and then also at the school. You're taking a look at a part of the school. This is not the front of the school anymore, Ryan. I don't believe this is
maybe on the side.
On the side,
possibly.
Yeah. So again, we continue to bring you this. We've been live on the air since about 9 o'clock this morning when the news first started coming in, and our thoughts are with these families who are coping with this today, and others who have children in school right now, hearing from a lot of parents and some schools as well, specifically Catholic schools in the area, who have either gone and pulled their kids out of school today just because they want to be close to them.
And love on them.
Yeah, schools that have temporarily were on lockdown early this morning. And
I see some of y'all asking if they got the gunman. Yeah, they got him. He took himself out in the back of the church, guys. He took himself out, and he also took out 2 little ones and injured 17, guys. Sad.
It's chilling for a lot of families.
Yeah, you can see all hands on deck here. We do know this is one of the entrances to the school. Not sure if it's the front entrance, but you can still see that response there as we're watching law enforcement, some family members as well. We were mentioning Corin. Corin mentioned a little boy he had talked to, right? He said he just talked about how people have had the instinct.
They said that the gunman started shooting through the windows, guys. He was shooting through the windows of the school, basically hitting little ones and people there, man, wound up injuring 20 people, in which 2 of them passed away, and both were children.
In the shooting and are in the hospital right now, and he made a paper plane, for some of the reporters that were out there. Just very sweet. It speaks to some of the kids that go to this school. If you think of just how sweet of an act that is, and what these kids have to be feeling right now. And I know we're going to take you to some of those pictures that we have seen earlier. But as we describe, Amy, some of their faces, they're in tears. They're holding on to their mom or their dad. We've seen, parents holding their children, walking with them, talking with them, a lot of crying, of course. Just a really heartbreaking day in the city of Minneapolis today, and more family you can see here also walking.
Yeah, it's a very fragile situation right now. This is a time of year, when if you have children of school age, you're talking about either they're in school already. Some obviously kids have started, but if not, you're talking about, okay, let's get our sleep schedule on track. Let's make sure that, are you going to pack your lunch? Am I going to pack your lunch? All of these things that we think about, and we get so busy in this time of...
Yes, the footage is live. This is taking place right now in Minnesota, guys. Wow.
Things are in a totally different perspective, and we don't have to, but many of us will need to have really difficult conversations with our children about what's happened. And sadly, I know yours isn't old enough to have, these types of conversations, but those of us who've had kids in school for a while, it's just part of their, it's part of their school experience, is just rehearsing and having these drills. And
you hate that. You hate that it has become the new norm of having to go through these drills inside of school and here inside of a church when you're literally praying. Those are the kinds of conversations that at this point we're going to have. And what does that look like? How do you secure these areas? Why should you, secure some of these areas as we take another look at, another vantage point here?
I imagine that we will be hearing from, I would hope, maybe some superintendents of different school districts in the area to put out some statements just to let people know. I mean, it's hard to keep track of
what schools have what security measures in place. And again, a metal detector would not have stopped this gunman. But I think just for peace of mind for parents, there are some school liaisons and there are not some school liaisons. There are, some schools that have some type of a security, and then there are others that may not have as much. And so just maybe understanding that specifically to your school, up and take them home. And so these respond up and take them home. And so these responders have been out there for some time, and that scene very much under control now. Is within about the first 30 minutes, we learned that the suspect was dead and there was no other immediate threat to the area.
Yeah, do we just want to reset for those?
I think so, right? How do we?
Where do you want to go?
Okay, and then do we have, are we going to go to, I thought Rob maybe or someone else, or we're not? Gotcha. Okay. We're going to be turning an interview for you here shortly that Rob Olson just did. But in the meantime, Simone, why don't we go ahead and read?
Okay, let's hit the reset button. For those of you maybe just joining us, just a heartbreaking day in the city of Minneapolis right now. We know there was a shooting this morning at Annunciation Catholic School. This is at the church. They're kind of all, interconnected here. So maybe in the last, 20 minutes or so, we had a press conference. The mayor was a part of that press conference. The police chief was a part of that press conference. The mayor had some strong words. Yeah, he said, children are dead. This kind of evil act just shouldn't happen. Children were literally in the middle of praying. So we just kind of want to walk you through some of the information that we know of what happened there this morning. Did you want to say something?
I just want to, I'll just kind of interject and then you kind of keep on your track here. But just one thing I think Ryan said, we're trying to pull up a map here here we go. And this is what I was hoping that we could get because I wanted to show you. So Ryan, right there, the larger building right there that Ryan's kind of circling with the arrow is the church. So this is the church area where the shooting happened. And then as you can see, across that grove of trees is the school. And that was the reunification area, and that is the area where our cameras are set, where we're looking at that front door. So there, thank you so much for zooming in there. So we just kind of wanted to give you perspective of which building was where and how close it was. And immediately this morning when we saw the location and we looked up the address, we saw that it was this church address. And we went to the website and you could see that Mass was scheduled 8:15 Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And we knew the call came in at 8:27. And that is the beginning of this nightmare that everybody has been living now since. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, it's okay. This definitely does give you perspective, though, of just how closely it is. And presumably the shooter knew that, right? That would be the assumption here. Of course, we don't just want to throw out assumptions, but if it's 8:15 in the morning and we have barricades outside of windows and 3 different guns here, you would assume that there was some sort of familiarity with this particular area. So I just want to kind of reset and just walk you through some of the things that we have learned that have happened there this morning. So we know that the Minneapolis Police Department entered inside of the church and
I'm seeing people come through say it was a woman in her 20s pretending to be a man, guys, that is responsible for this allegedly until they say it. We don't exactly know yet, but that's what they're saying, guys. Hold on, let me get us back in here. Yeah, my this thing is doing something I don't want it to do. Lord have mercy. But yeah, that's what they're saying, guys. That is crazy.
Today is that an 8-year-old and a 10-year-old were killed as they sat in the pews of that church. We know that 17 people were injured, 14 of those people children. 2 are in critical condition this morning. We also know that the shooter took his own life in the back of that church. Now, we're not sure if that was, inside of the church or outside of the church. When the chief was asked a question of, was any of the shooting done inside? Because they did mention from the outside through the windows. The chief did say that they have not found any of the casings that would basically point to him shooting on the inside. Of course, a heartbroken police department, a heartbroken city today. Dozens of kids inside of Mass at the time. They have been relocated inside of the school to just reunite with some of their family. Some information about the shooter. We know that it was just one suspect. We know that shooter was in his early 20s. Police chief said no known criminal history at this time, but they are, of course, working to learn a motive this morning. Not sure of the relationship also, to this particular school. Was this shooter familiar? Did he used to go to this school? What was the relationship there? We do know, though, that the shooter did leave behind a vehicle, and that vehicle is being searched by the Minneapolis Police Department and other law enforcement on the scene there. We also do know that he was wearing black clothing. The chief mentioned cargo pants. Now, we were hearing rumblings about explosives found. Now, the chief did say that there were no explosives, but some sort of firework that released some sort of smoke.
It says unalive, 2 children ages 8 to 10, 7, it says injured, 17, it says 14 children, HCMC, 11 patients, 2 adults, 9 children ages 6 to 14, and the person who did it is unalive, guys.
We have, so 11 patients were brought to HCMC as well. 7 of those 11 were brought to the hospital in critical condition to the operating room. And of those 11, 9 children, ages 6 to 14, and 2 adults. And that is, again, in addition to the 2 children that we know have died, ages 8 and 10. So that's what we have. That's the very latest from HCMC on the conditions. And even Dr. Wyatt, as he was telling us this information about 20 minutes ago, was saying this is so fluid. It's just everything's changing by the minute. But that is the latest that we have there. A couple of non-critical patients did go to a couple of other hospitals. But at HCMC, that trauma center, that level 1 trauma center, they treated 11 people this morning, which is just an incredible number of people, given the fact that they were also dealing with other fatalities and other shooting victims from
just the last
24 hours as well. So definitely, those folks just
2 mass situations in the last 24 hours, guys. This is sad, guys. Wow.
Out at you right now. So if you take a look at your screen, we have some of those numbers there that Amy just kind of ran through. We know that 2 children killed. You can see there their ages are 8 and 10. The chief did mention that, their families have been notified. So you could just only imagine the day that they're having today after hearing about what happened and learning about their kids and just all of these children that have been involved in this and just how this day will stand out to them forever and all that they have gone through this morning. And even, maybe some of their friends are, the 8 and 10-year-old that have unfortunately been passed away, their lives taken way too soon.
Our Rob Wilson had a chance to do an interview a little bit earlier with a neighbor, I believe somebody who lives nearby, and we wanted to play a portion of that interview for you now.
How long have you lived here?
8 years.
Just half a block from the school.
Yeah.
What's the first thing you knew that something had occurred today?
I was at work. My kids were here. We're in that stretch of summer for public schools where there's not a lot of care for kids. So my oldest was taking care of my littlest, and I'm on a mom's chat group, and one of the mom's kids goes there to preschool. And I was at work and just got here as fast as I could, scared of, just not knowing what was happening in the neighborhood at all at that point.
Did you learn about it from the mom?
Yes. Well, at that point it was that there's a mass shooting at Annunciation, and knowing how close my home is to there, I just got here as fast as I could.
So was it the mother of the preschooler who told you that?
No, she was on the thread though. But no, just making sure we all knew what was happening and that we were all safe.
Her child is okay.
Her child is safe. Went into lockdown. The dad was able to get into lockdown with them, and they're home.
You've known people who've had kids there before too?
Yeah, absolutely. We know kids throughout the neighborhood who go there. We see them walk to school. I actually saw 2 on the way to school this morning as I was on my way to work. So it happened right after that.
How are you dealing with this? How are you feeling?
All right, so this is the person responsible right here, guys. Hold on. This is the person responsible. Allegedly. This is the person that did it. It says, this is the person. Hold on, let me see if it says, when are we going to finally admit? Okay, so it's allegedly one of those people, and this is the person right here, guys, that's allegedly responsible for doing this. This is what they're putting out. I'm just showing y'all, this is the person that allegedly did this to those people in Minnesota, guys. It's crazy. I don't know if y'all can see all that. I'm gonna let y'all read it, but that's what it's saying. And this is the person right here. Wow. It's crazy. I don't know the name, so I can't give it to y'all yet.
It's supposed to.
That's the person that's allegedly responsible.
That the routines are back in place, or if you're a kindergarten or preschool, you know, it's such.
The name of the person is allegedly Robin Westman, guys. Robin Westman is the name of the person that allegedly did this. I just showed y'all the picture.
Canines going through the yards here. Did they tell you they were looking for something specific?
I asked them, is everything safe? And they just said it's an added precaution, and that made me feel safe. That they were doing everything that they could to walk through. I saw their dogs and some of the officers jump over fences, and they're incredible, and I'm really grateful for their work here.
Just one of the neighbors that our crews were able to talk to this morning in this area in Southwest Minneapolis, again, Annunciation Catholic School and church, which is nearby, and the shooting that happened this morning at the church during Mass, where 2 children were killed and 17 others have been injured, and some of them, we're not sure if they're still being operated on, but we know at least 4 were being operated on, and 7 were taken to HCMC in critical condition, along with others. So we continue to just, if you pray for them. This is a really difficult time for everybody involved. We were on the scene early on, about 8:45, 8:50, something like that, and we started to see at that time parents who had clearly been notified that they needed to come and pick up their children, and they started to go into the school area, into the campus, and we know now that they were gathered in the gym area of the school where they were reunited with their children, and then about 45 minutes later, about 9:45 or so, they were starting to exit, and we just saw a
Once again, they're saying that the person responsible name is Robin Westman, 20-year-old female, identified as a male, guys. Wow. Shout out to Lives Everywhere for those gifts.
They all started streaming out and just had to walk past the neighbors who were there, very concerned, people who wanted to show up and try to help out in any way they can, but it's almost like a line of people on both sides. They walked through, and cameras and reporters who were trying to gather information as well to relay to the community, to let them know what's going on. And just a really difficult morning to watch that scene, which we won't replay that. We've been just having discussions in the newsroom, and we just decided not to replay that video. But if you saw it live, and those of us who saw it, you'll never forget it. It was really difficult to watch. It happened in your own backyard.
Yeah, and unfortunately, well, I guess if there are any good things that come out of things like this, you do see the best in people. Mm-hmm. And Corn did mention, there have been so many people that have come out.
If you don't mind, could y'all please click those 3 dots, hit that thumbs up. That's how you hit the like button. Show support to the channel by hitting the like button. If you're on a mobile device, you can simply double tap your screen. Or click those 3 dots, hit that thumbs up, man. Hit the like button, it helps out the channel. Yeah, this is crazy, guys. This is crazy.
He also mentioned, some people who just brought out water for some of the first responders to help. Another person, I think he said, had a dog that he brought out for people just to pet. Because this is a really, really tough day for, of course, not only these families that have been affected by this, their lives have been changed forever, but also some of the law enforcement there on the scene that you're looking at right now. Of course, very large police presence over the last few hours or so. Is that the FBI that I'm looking at?
Yeah, the FBI there as well. And this I'm learning from actually one of our coworkers had a child who went there years ago and was able to tell us that this is the back entrance, sort of the parking lot where the kids are dropped off and picked up. So that's this vantage point that we're looking at here. We had been looking at the front of the building. But just learning that now our coworker had a child who went to the school, and Rob Olson talked about it earlier as he was walking around talking to people. And, this is a feeder school for Holy Angels. And that community of, my kid goes to one of the Catholic schools, you say, oh, which one? And, it's a pretty big community where no matter which school you're at, and any religious school with a religious affiliation, you just are always kind of interested. And, there's smaller communities than you might think. And so the people who know people.
Kids, we not removing comments. We're blocking people. When they come in saying obscene stuff, don't worry about it. Send them on the rocket ship. Get them up out of here. If they got a problem, we're not removing any comments or none of that. We're not timing nobody out. We sending them straight on rocket ships and getting them up out of here.
Them today just because I wanted to hold them close and be with them. And we're very scared. And so this is happening as well. So it's definitely these folks that we're thinking about who are in the thick of it, those who are fighting for their lives as we speak. This really touches the entire state. It should touch everyone, but for those of us here in Minnesota, in this community here in the Twin Cities especially, and then again those in this neighborhood, as you take it down to that micro level, it's just been, it's just hard to put into words what's unfolding today.
Yeah, an 8 and 10-year-old killed as they sat in the pews of the church. Amy, you kind of hit on the emotion of today. Just about maybe 30 minutes or so ago, we heard from Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey at a press conference. Let's get to that right now and hear what he had to say earlier.
There are no words that can capture the whole.
We already seen this, guys. So right now we got a situation going on in Minnesota. 20 people injured, 2 unalive. Sad, y'all, sad. 2 mass situations in 24 hours in Minneapolis, guys. Prayers for the families, prayers for those babies, man. This is just horrible. I gotta switch to something else real quick. We're also covering Cardi B. She's most definitely on trial today. She's due to take the stand. Let's go over here, man. Let's get off of this sad stuff for a second and see what she got going on. Shout out to everybody in the building. We'll come back to it once they go on break and see the latest developments in this situation going on in Minnesota, guys. Once again, prayers for those families. Dang, man, that's sad. I got to get off the sad stuff. Let's go.
For Mr. Peterson, that my intention was to have Cardi B testify today. Possibly put on the plaintiff, recall her as to some of the facts that are discussed with Cardi B, and then have the defendants put on their witnesses in the afternoon, and I would then, if it drags on, bring more witnesses next week.
Your Honor, if I may. First of all, I would object to him recalling in his own case in chief a witness, Hart, who's already been questioned and there was cross. But second, the idea, what he's referring to in his phone message last night, was that Your Honor said that you would be willing to allow parties to take witnesses out of order, which I understood to mean that if there was a defendant witness, I could put them on during the plaintiff's case in chief. What he's proposing is that he's run out of witnesses and wants me to take my case before he rests, and I would object to that.
Your Honor, it's not that I'm saying that I'm running out of witnesses. What I'm saying is the court has advised us that we can call witnesses out of order. Because it's a holiday weekend, these witnesses have other plans, the same way that his witness is unavailable in the afternoon, Dr. Azizulahi, Ms. Parsi, and Amanda Kelly, they have their own obligations and they're not available to testify today, but they would be available next week on Tuesday right after the.
Generally speaking, I'm okay with having witnesses being called out of order, but I think, was Amanda Kelly, when was Amanda Kelly identified?
She was 100% identified. She would be testifying as to Dr. Scher that he has died in 2021. If there could be an agreement between counsel and the court, that the court would make an instruction that it is a fact that Dr. Scher has died in 2021, that the parties have stipulated to that, I don't need to call her. Okay. That's all I want her for.
There was, I don't know.
You can look online. It was a death certificate.
I don't know. My understanding and my recollection is the plaintiff testified he died, so I don't know why we need a receptionist to come in and testify that he died.
Because there's not something concrete that establishes that fact. Amanda Kelly also is a
Can we just say it's not in dispute?
Why not stipulate it?
I don't have any evidence that he's in Jamaica living a high life.
This is the Cardi B trial, guys.
If that resolves the issue, that's fine. We're not going to put on evidence that he's alive in hiding or something.
I will say this. Amanda Kelly also witnessed, when the witness came into their office, she saw the scar. She'd be testifying about things like that they had a medical file for her. There's a lot more involved that really Amanda Kelly would be beneficial for me. So it's up to them. If they want to take that chance and have all that come out, that's what's coming. I'm willing to let that go and keep it simple because the court wants this to go fast. All I want is a stipulation.
I want you to go efficiently.
Correct, yes, Your Honor. All I'm asking for is a simple request that Dr. Scher has died. Whether she saw him, didn't see him, that's coming through the plaintiff. But he's dead. He is dead.
Well, what proof? I mean, once you show defense counsel, whatever proof you've got that he's dead, and then you can stipulate to it.
Yeah, but he's adding more to it. He's saying that she.
There is more. If Amanda
Kelly. Wait, that's not interrupting or question. I'm sorry. All right.
He's adding a lot more that was never disclosed before. When he added Amanda, whatever her name is, in July, he said receptionist to Dr. Scher. That was it. Now he's saying that she's going to testify that she didn't see a scar on it. They have no medical records.
He's not done yet.
That there are no. They produce no medical records by Dr. Scher. So, I mean, this is a complete end-around discovery. They never identified her in discovery. And if he's asking me to stipulate that he's dead, but adding all this baggage to it, if there's any deposition that should be taken, if there's going to be all that baggage, then the deposition should be of this witness.
But I think he's saying he won't call her if you stipulate the doctor's dead. And you say you have proof.
Well, let me tell you, Your Honor, let me tell the court respectfully what Amanda Kelly knows. Amanda Kelly was the office manager and a nurse. She's a licensed nurse.
Cardi got black hair today.
Who saw the patient together with Dr. Scher. It would have been great if Dr. Scher was alive. He could testify, produce his medical file. We're prejudiced because he's dead. Plaintiff treated with that doctor. That doctor's name, address, everything was disclosed in discovery. It wasn't hidden. They had it. So Amanda Kelly is going to testify that, one, this was our patient in 2018. We had a medical file. Unfortunately, Dr. Scher died in 2021. I had no access to it. I did examine the patient with Dr. Scher. I saw she had a scar. It looked to be within a few months of that date. If they want all that to come in, that's really helpful to me. But it's not that important that I'm willing, as a gesture of good faith, to let it go as long as they stipulate that Dr. Scher is in fact dead as of 2021.
This is day 3 of the
jury
Cardi B
understands
trial,
there's
guys.
possibly no way that I could bring in Dr. Scher to speak about what he knows.
If counsel is saying that he's not going to call this witness, if we agree or stipulate that it is undisputed, then we don't dispute that the doctor died. That's fine. Okay. I just don't want all the extra baggage.
No extra baggage.
Okay.
But how would we let the jury know?
I'll tell the jury.
When?
I can do it during jury. I can do it during instructions, or I can do it now.
I would like it.
Okay.
Well, that Amanda Kelly was a witness to that fact.
I'm not going to say anything about that.
All right, fine.
Okay.
And I would prefer the word disputed rather than stipulated, just because we don't know.
And what's Dr. Scher's name?
John Scher, MD. and he was plaintiff's plastic surgeon, the first one.
Okay.
In 2018.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And then what about these other folks?
The issue with recalling the plaintiff again?
No, but who's Parsi?
Parsi is the receptionist, Dr. Azizulai. Dr. Azizulai has an office there, several floors down, but he happened to be in that vicinity and learned of the disturbance and came upstairs with Parsi. And Amanda Patel we've already discussed, and Mike Shope was just another patient in the building.
And to what extent, if any, is there testimony cumulative? Did they all see the same thing?
It's the same like their Dr. Finke and their witness Malcolm. Then I would argue that that's cumulative, and they show only one.
I'm just asking you, are they cumulative? Did they see different things?
I don't know what they saw. I never deposed them. They never deposed them. It's the same like their two. It is exactly the same like their two witnesses. They have a doctor and a receptionist, and I have a doctor and a receptionist. So if the court is going to limit me, I would ask that they limit them to one witness.
No, I'm not saying I'm limiting anything. I just don't want the same two people to come in and offer the exact same testimony.
What if they did see the same thing? Why can't they say that?
Because it's cumulative.
But they're two separate witnesses that see the same thing.
And what benefit is there to it?
Because when more people testify to the same thing, it makes it more true.
Oh, okay.
Your Honor, we don't even know.
That's what.
He can't even tell you if it's cumulative because he's telling you he doesn't know what they're going to say.
I know what they're going to say in general. They're going to say that the incident occurred the way that the plaintiff says it occurred.
But they weren't there.
They came upstairs.
During the incident?
At some point. The same way their doctor showed up. These people.
I think it's an insufficient offer of proof, and
here's what I'm willing to do. I will.
Will you please admonish counsel not to interrupt me?
I would ask the same.
I don't think he has been. Go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. Counsel says we didn't take their depositions. They weren't identified until the end of July. We referenced it until the end of July. So we had no chance to take the depositions.
All right. If you want to propose, if you want them to testify and even offer proof, and be specific as to what they saw and when they saw it.
I have no problem. I will contact them again. I cannot produce them today, but I will take that up time that I need to.
All right. Are we otherwise ready to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is there a prayer ready? Ms. Almanzar, if you want to take the stand.
They done put us back on the ceiling.
Record in the Ellis matter, counsel and the parties.
All right, we back now.
As are the members of our jury.
They had put us on the
alternate.
ceiling.
We have Ms. Almanzar is still on the stand. Ma'am, you're reminded you're still under oath. All right.
All right, we got
are
Cardi
going to
back.
resume with direct exam under Evidence Code 776. Thank you,
Cardi
Chief
B's
Counsel.
back on the stand,
And
guys.
just one note to anyone in the gallery.
She look
if you don't
different
have a
every
media
day.
badge, it's been approved by the sheriffs. Please do not be using any cell phones, tablets, computers. Thank you.
Cardi look different every day.
Good morning.
I swear to God.
Good morning, Ms. Cardi B.
Good morning.
So when we were discussing yesterday at the end, we were talking about the issue where you testified that Miss Ellis was recording you with her cell phone. You remember that?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know what type of cell phone she was using at the time?
I'm not quite sure. I just remember it was square.
What color was the cell phone?
It had a case. It definitely had a case. But I'm not sure.
Do you know if the type of phone that
What's
she was
up,
using when she was recording you, would a light go on or would some kind of noise?
It didn't have a light. It didn't have a light.
So if the cell phone was facing Miss Ellis, I'm assuming it was. Well, let me ask you that. Was the cell phone that you're talking about, was it facing you or was it facing Miss Ellis?
The camera was facing me. When I got off the elevator, her phone was here. Then when I was walking and she was behind me, and then she said, "Oh my God, y'all, Cardi B, Cardi B." I looked back and the camera was like right there, like practically on her chest type stuff. I'm like, "Yo, why are you recording me?"
Okay. And you've seen, like, you know, police officers where they have a camera on the front of them. Have you ever seen that, where a police officer will have that?
I never seen that, but that was her phone, not a camera.
I understand, but I'm saying, have you ever seen a security officer, a police officer have a special camera on their chest which records what occurs in front of them?
Relevant to
Double tap that screen, guys.
I'm not
Get the
saying
lights
she was
up.
recording you. I am asking you this question. If she was recording you, why does it matter?
Because she's a security guard and I'm going to a doctor's office. It definitely mattered.
You were causing a disturbance. Maybe
I
she wanted
wasn't
to
causing
record
a
you.
disturbance.
Time out. Let's not talk over each other, number one. Wait for him to finish
Sorry.
asking the question before you answer.
Do you own the building of 8920 Wilshire Boulevard?
No, I was walking to a doctor's office.
Do you agree that you were a guest in that building? You were
Yes.
a visitor, correct? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. When a security officer tells you to leave, are you supposed to leave?
Objection.
Yes or no?
Sustained, if that's been answered, we covered this yesterday.
They are
You were
answering
causing
the
a
same
disturbance in
question.
the building.
She started the disturbance.
Did you
I'm
also...
sorry, ma'am, if you hear an objection, please wait.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
That should pass.
What's wrong?
Do you remember yesterday you said that there was a verbal altercation between the two of you? You remember that?
Yes.
Okay. And an altercation is a fight, isn't it? It's a verbal fight. You had a verbal fight with her.
Asked and answered.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Sustained.
You used the F word during that fight, didn't you?
Yes.
What other words did you use? Tell us in your own words what you said.
I said, "Bitch, get the fuck out of my face. Why are you in my face? Why are you recording me? Ain't you supposed to be security?"
Tell it to
Why-
her now. Go ahead.
Huh?
Say it again. Say it.
Objection, Your Honor.
You want me to say it to
I
her
want
face?
you to tell it to her face what you said on that day so she can hear it for
The
herself
objection
again.
is sustained.
Hey, Your Honor, do we have civility in the courthouse?
Cardi B trial, day 3, guys. Double tap that screen. Get the lights up. Subscribe if you're new.
It's not time to argue with her.
What were the words that you used when you got off the elevator to this security guard who is no longer a security guard at this time?
Objection to argumentative and also covered yesterday.
Such a dirty mouth for such a pretty woman.
That's been answered. The objection sustained.
What did you tell Imani Ellis yesterday?
Counsel, you need to point.
Cardi got some of the best defense attorneys in the game, guys. Cardi doesn't lose
What were you
in court.
holding in your hand at the time when you got off the elevator?
Objection. Oh, excuse me, argumentative.
Overruled.
Nothing, correct? You weren't holding anything, were you?
No.
You had both of your hands free to do whatever you wanted to do, correct? Yes or no?
Objection, relevance.
Overruled.
Yes or no?
Yes, yes.
Okay. And if you wanted to scratch or cut her face with your right hand or your left hand, if you wanted to do it, you could have done it, correct?
But
You're
I
not
didn't.
disabled.
But I
right?
didn't because I had a baby inside me.
How did she?
Let's go, Cardi.
Let's slow down the pace just a little bit before the opportunity to get
He sure is being aggressive with Cardi, guys.
What was the objection?
Argumentative, relevance.
Overruled.
And again, I would ask that counsel lower his voice. This isn't.
So, Your Honor, I was told yesterday that my voice was too low by others, so that's why it's a little bit higher today. so that everybody can hear what I can say as well as the witness.
I think there's a difference between volume and tone. I think the volume is fine, the tone is a little bit argumentative.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. I apologize.
He is screaming at Cardi today, guys. He came with fire in his eyes.
So
Look how
again, I
Cardi
will ask you to tell us and admit to this fact that you are not disabled, correct?
I'm not what?
Are you disabled?
At that moment, no.
No. Are you disabled? Are you disabled? Yes or no?
At that moment, when you're pregnant, I'm very disabled. You want me to tell you the things I can't do?
Fine. What was your disability on February 24th of 2018? What was your disability?
I was pregnant. I couldn't protect myself, even if I wanted to. She's like twice my size.
No problem, no problem. Let me ask you this. How many months pregnant were
You
you?
need to wait for the answer.
Okay.
You done, man?
How many months pregnant were you?
I was around 13 to 12 weeks.
Months? 4 months? 3 months? 3 to 4 months. Fair enough? Did you have a bulging belly?
No, I didn't.
Did Miss Imani Ellis know that you were pregnant?
Objection calls for speculation.
Do you know if Imani Ellis knew that you were pregnant when you walked out of that elevator?
No, I didn't know. But she knows that I'm a patient. When you're a patient to go see a medical anything, you shouldn't even try to fight nobody. You don't know what disability they have.
Okay. Now let me ask you this question. When you say you were disabled, were you disabled in your upper extremity, your arms? Were your arms disabled? The reason I'm asking is I want to make it very clear for everybody that your arms can go up and down, and they could go up and down now, and they could go up and down on that day as well. You agree to this?
Objection, argumentative, asked and answered in a different way, and I guess that's fine.
Continue to hit that like, subscribe if you're new, guys. Day 3 of the Cardi B trial.
My arms were disabled? No, my arms weren't disabled. No.
Can you raise your arms up?
Objection, Your Honor.
Can you? No, you don't have to do it physically. I'm saying, are you able to do it?
Yes.
And on that day, you were able to do it as well, correct?
If I wanted to, yes.
Okay. That's all I'm asking. Aside from your disability of being 3 to 4 months pregnant, did you have any other disabilities?
No.
Do you have a disabled placard? Are you legally disabled in any way?
Why don't you move on, Counsel?
And the hoodie that you had on, what color was it? Was it black, white, yellow, purple, pink?
I really don't remember.
And was the hoodie over your head or
yes.
No? You wore it for what reason over your head? To protect your identity?
It could be I don't really want people to recognize me. My hair not done. My makeup not done. I probably just woke up.
Cardi is a character, guys.
A lot of reasons.
And when you went there in the afternoon at 1:30 p.m., had you just woken up at that moment? Well, shortly before 1:30 p.m. on a Saturday?
Objection, relevance.
Assisting.
Continue to hit that like button, guys. Double tap that screen.
When you went to the building at 1:30 p.m., were you fasting or you had eaten something before you went to see the doctor?
Assisting.
Now, when you saw Miss Imani Ellis and you got out of the elevator, not asking who did what, I'm asking was there any contact between you and her of any kind? What that means is fingers to fingers, shoes to shoes, knees to knees, any contact between you and Imani Ellis of any kind. Was there? Yes or no?
No.
So she didn't touch you, correct?
No.
So if somebody comes here and testifies that she did do something to you physically, you disagree with that testimony, or you will, correct?
She didn't touch me.
Okay.
She didn't get to touch me, no. She was going to touch me, but she didn't get to touch
When
me.
you say she was going to touch you, how do you know that? You
Because
assume?
we were
Can we get the likes to 500,
So
guys?
then your chest did touch, right?
I would say that, but you did say when I got off the elevator.
Okay.
We walked a little bit. That's when we got chest to chest. When we got off the elevator, we didn't do no contact.
I understand. So here's how we're going to do this. The date of the incident is February 24th.
Can we get 40 more likes?
Yes.
Now I'm going to talk to you about the whole day. Not just the minute you got off the elevator. When I say the whole day, from the moment you got off the elevator, you saw Monty Ellis, you had your fight with her, whether it was verbal or not. At some point, she went away and you went away.
Mm-hmm.
So during that segment of time of your life, which was how many minutes in your opinion? 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute?
It was probably like a minute, 45. It was so quick.
Perfect.
It was really quick.
Perfect. So from during the 1 minute and 45 seconds.
No. I didn't say 1 minute, 45
we haven't had a question yet. Please phrase one that's intelligible.
During the few minutes or 1 minute or whatever minutes it was that you were with Imani Ellis, during that period of time of your life and her life, during that segment, just told us now, during that time period, at some point, you were chest to chest. You agree?
Yes.
There was physical contact between her chest and your chest, correct?
Yes.
Now, when you have the chest-to-chest contact, at that moment, were you angry?
I was mostly nervous.
Were you angry?
Yes, this is live.
Yes, I was angry.
How angry were you?
Depends on the level of angry, to be honest with you.
Let's talk about the level. I'm going to go from a scale of 1 to 10. On the scale of 1 to 10, what was the level of your anger when you were chest to chest with this person?
Objection.
On the date of the incident.
Sorry, objection taken, ambiguous.
You were at a high level of anger when you were chest to chest with her, correct?
Objection, argumentative.
I don't think I was like on a high level of angry. I was more on a high level of concern. Very concerned.
And why were you concerned?
Because I'm pregnant and this girl's about to fucking beat my ass. Hello?
Hello. Hello, I'm here. So, when she was going to beat you, like you just testified, what did she do to have you believe that she was going to beat you? What did she do?
She was on my face, chest to chest, and while we arguing, she's backing me. So we're practically arguing, and I'm backing, and she's like walking forward.
Right. And she's, you said she's bigger than you, is that correct?
Absolutely.
How do you know that?
I mean, look.
I'm looking, I don't agree with that. What is your basis? Are you saying she's physically bigger, she's taller?
I mean, you have her medical records, right?
I don't have anything. I want to ask you the question.
I mean, I was 130 pounds at that time.
So she's overweight, right? In your opinion.
Objection, relevant.
She's a little...
You don't need to answer that.
Okay. Did you make fun of her that she was overweight when you were there in the hallway?
I don't think so.
Did you call her fat?
No, I was calling her a bitch.
Bitch?
Yes.
Do you think that's respectful to call a security guard a bitch?
Objection.
Is that how you talk to everybody?
Objection.
Look at him. Let's go, Cardi.
Now, you said you felt, I don't know the words. Let's go back to it. Did you feel scared, threatened, afraid at the moment your chest was touching?
Absolutely.
You were scared?
Absolutely.
And you had your cell phone on you, right?
I did, but she's in my face.
That's fine.
Did you focus on the question and just answer?
Did you use your cell phone to call Karan Newton, your security guard, who was downstairs, or the police?
Objection.
Did you call anybody for help?
Overruled.
When I got inside the doctor's office and I said like on the little bed thing, I told him, yo, you wouldn't even believe what just happened. Meet me downstairs when I leave. I'm gonna call you when I leave.
if you were really scared and really afraid, isn't it true that you could have called your security guards to come upstairs and help you? Or you could have called the police. That was a possibility because you had your phone in your hand, correct?
Objection. Compound mischaracterizes the testimony that the phone was in your hand.
Assisting. You had your phone in your pocket on the date of the incident?
Objection relevance.
Assisting. Can we agree that you didn't call your security guard to help you after the incident, correct? To help you. You did call him, but you didn't call him to come upstairs.
I apologize. I thought you said mischaracterizes the testimony.
This is a money grab. I think they trying to get Cardi's
I didn't
money.
call him to help me. It was already done. It was done.
Okay, now let's talk about the fingernails. Okay, fingernails.
Something new?
Well, I want to show a couple of things about the fingernails. So this side of the ruler, okay, is 2 centimeters. You need to bring it closer. Can you see it from there?
Objection, Your Honor. You went over this yesterday.
I'm sorry.
2 centimeters. You know the size of 2 centimeters? How big it is?
That's an answer.
I have like an understanding of how it would be. Yeah.
2 centimeters. It's a little bit less than an inch. Okay? Now, Miss Imani Ellis had a scar to her face of 2 centimeters long, and she received plastic surgery for that. And my question to you is, did you at any time see a scar on Miss Imani Ellis's face, or a cut, or a scrape, at any time during the time of the incident?
No. And she couldn't get a scratch from me because I didn't touch her.
I understand that's what you're saying. I get it. Did you look at Miss Imani Ellis's left cheek at any time during the incident? Did you specifically look for that because you thought there might be a scar on her face? Or did you not look?
Objection. Compound and relevance.
Assisting. Did you look at Miss Imani Ellis's face when you were arguing with her at the time of the incident?
I was looking at her face, but I wasn't looking like, she got a pimple on her face? No, I wasn't looking at her details or anything.
So if she had a scar on her face or cut, you wouldn't be able to know because you weren't focusing on it, correct?
Objection calls for expert testimony. Relevance.
Assisting. She's a fact witness. She didn't see a scar. Why don't you move on?
That's right.
Make sure you vote on
You
the poll.
testified yesterday that when you go to get your nails done, you tell your nail person to be careful not to make your nails too sharp. Do you remember saying that?
Yes.
Do you tell them that every time you go to get your nails done?
Objection, relevance.
Assisting.
Did you tell your nail person that before you had your nails done, just before this incident?
I didn't have to because of the shape. So the shape that I had that week, it wasn't like a shape that is like harming. It was like a square coffin shape. So it didn't have like no points or like sharp edges and stuff like that. I mean, there's pictures of me of that week everywhere, so.
Do you have a picture now with you? Do your attorneys have it?
Yes.
The nails that you have on now, are they sharp and pointy?
I don't consider them that, no.
You consider them pointy?
No.
Can those nails that you have on now, can they become sharp to the point where they could cut somebody if you were to scratch them?
Relevance.
Assisting.
Did you see any skin or any blood underneath your fingernail after the incident? Any of your fingernails?
There was no physical incident for me to even see nothing like that.
That's not what I'm asking. I'm saying if you saw anything.
No.
Okay. Did any of your fingernails break after the incident?
No.
All 10 of them were in perfect condition?
Yes.
When you went to see the doctor, Dr. Finke, did he look at your fingernails? Did he go over that with you?
No.
Did you even bring it up to him?
No, I just told him like this. Like, this is your security. This is your security.
Besides your chest-to-chest touching, did anything else touch?
No.
Okay, and you're a firstborn child?
To my mother, yes.
Okay, and you have other siblings, other brothers and sisters, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a yes?
Yes. Sorry.
Okay, and as you testified yesterday that the baby in your stomach that was 4 months or 3 to 4 months old was your first child, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And you've had other children, correct?
After? Yes.
Your Honor, relevance?
Sustained.
Let's take time to double tap that screen, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new. This is Cardi B, trial, day 3.
Back to the words. I asked you yesterday if you used the N-word, if you called Miss Imani Ellis the N-word. You said you did not, correct?
No, I didn't.
But you've said that word before in your lifetime, correct?
Objection, relevance.
Sustained.
And in your music, you actually say it many times, correct?
Objection, relevance. First Amendment.
Do you know what the word ghetto means?
Objection.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Did Miss Imani Ellis call you ghetto?
Wow.
I don't remember.
If someone called you ghetto, would that make you angry?
Objection, relevance.
Wow. Do you know what the word ghetto means? Oh, my goodness.
Me? If somebody calls me ghetto, it depends on how you're using it, but I don't really feel offended if you call me ghetto.
Did Imani Ellis tell you that you're stupid?
Your Honor, relevance.
Overruled.
Wow.
I really don't remember. She did. She was cursing at me though.
What were the words that she used?
You're gonna get the fuck out of my building. You're gonna get the fuck out of my building. I can do whatever the fuck I want.
Such a dirty mouth.
Then it's like when I was telling her, like, it's like, why you recording me? She said, it's my fucking phone.
Whoa.
It's my phone.
Whoa.
You're in my building. That's what she was telling me. And she was like, yeah. She also was saying like this, I don't give a fuck who you are.
Hey.
I don't give a fuck who you are.
Cardi, not too much cussing.
And you remember her telling you that?
I remember that.
Those exact words?
Yes.
And did that make you angry?
Yes. Absolutely.
Okay. When you get angry, you black out and maybe not realize what happens next?
No.
Do you know if you blacked out on the date of the incident? At any time? All right. And when you were yelling back and forth, and you were speaking and yelling and screaming, you were, correct?
Excuse me?
You were yelling and screaming at each other,
Yes.
correct? And you were doing that. Did your spit come out of your mouth and go onto Imani Ellis?
I don't think so. No.
But it's possible, right? Because when you're speaking, sometimes you use many, many words, the spit comes out, correct?
Objection.
You agree with this?
I'm sorry, what's your objection?
Well, relevance, Your Honor.
Overruled.
He's sure trying to handle her rough today. He wasn't nothing like this yesterday.
I'm not sure. I don't think so. I don't think it'll be happening. I don't know.
He is trying to handle her rough today.
Could it be that Miss Amani Ellis was not recording you with her phone? Is that a possibility?
Speculation.
Aside from what you've just told us now about the recording, is there anything else that you have? Any other testimony about how you know Miss Amani Ellis was recording you with her phone?
She told me, when I told her, why you recording me, she said, oh, my bad. She practically apologized.
Did she apologize to you?
If you say, oh, my bad, when I'm telling you why you're recording me, to me, that means you're recording me. And it's right there, right now. It's on my face.
Well,
not on my face, literally on my face. I'm trying to be as detailed as possible, but she had it right here on her chest, like this.
And when Miss Amani Ellis told you to leave the building, you refused to leave, correct?
Correct.
And at that point, you were trespassing, correct?
Objection, Your Honor.
Assisting.
Where did you go? Did you leave the building? Did you go to your doctor's office? Where did you go next?
To my doctor's office.
And where did Miss Amani Ellis go?
I don't know.
Did she see you walk into the doctor's office?
Objection, false speculation.
Assisting.
Did you see Miss Amani Ellis when you walked into your doctor's office?
Did I saw her?
Right.
We was arguing. The receptionist came out. She got in between us. They were like, kind of like, she was like trying to calm her down. The doctor was already coming out. And he was like, go to my office. So I'm like, after that, I just went to his office and I never seen her again.
Okay. And when this, how long after, from the moment you saw Miss Amani Ellis, how long after did the doctor think he come out of his office? Was it in the middle, towards the end? Can you give us an estimate of time?
Can you repeat that a little better?
Sure. So, just for argument's sake, I'm going to estimate the time was 2 minutes. I'm not saying it was. It could have been half a minute. Just for argument. So during the 2 minutes that you and her were outside in the hallway, screaming at each other, whatever you were doing, for those 2 minutes, how long after the 2 minutes, how long from the beginning of the 2 minutes to the end did Dr. Finke come in? So he could have came in at 59 seconds, 119 seconds, 1 second. Do you understand my question?
But it wasn't 2 minutes, though.
Time out. All right, go ahead.
It wasn't.
I'll withdraw the question.
All right.
All right, let's do it again. How many seconds, I need to know this, how many seconds were you and Miss Amani Ellis in the hallway? Let's just pick a time. You pick it.
I'll say from like the beginning all the way to like walking down, it had to be like a minute or less.
Okay. And you say walking down, you mean walking into Dr. Finke's office or leaving the building?
Excuse me?
When you say walking down where?
Remember, I got off the elevator, so I'm walking, trying to find the room, the office. So in between that was like the minute there. Like after like the verbal dispute, it had to be like 20 seconds of that.
Okay. Fine. When did Dr. Finke come out of his office?
At the end.
When it was all done, correct?
Mm-hmm. Well, when Tiara was calming down, she was still like screaming and like trying to explain herself to Tiara. I just walked away.
All right. When you got off the elevator, was there anyone else in that hallway or in that vicinity?
No.
And how long did it take before Tiara came out?
How long did it take?
And that's Tiara Malcolm.
Yes.
What's your best estimate?
Like 40 seconds at most, or like 50 seconds, like around there. I don't know.
So you and Miss Amani Ellis were alone for approximately 40 to 50 seconds before anybody came out into the hallway, correct?
Yes.
And in those 40 to 50 seconds, anything could have happened.
Objection.
Right?
Assisting.
You could have scratched her face, you could have cut her face in those 40 seconds.
We're not going to engage in speculation. If you have fact questions to ask her, please do so.
When you had the fingernails on that day, what color were the fingernails? Do you remember?
They were like
Green?
no, they were like orangey.
And you said that there were some kind of flat stones on them?
Yes.
Were those flat stones on all 10 fingernails?
Most likely, yes.
Were the 10 fingernails all the same size and had the same exact stones on them?
Mm-hmm.
So if there was one stone,
Yes.
if there was one stone, it would be one stone times 10? Or is one might have 3 stones, another one may have 1 stone? Do the stones change?
Objection. Vague and ambiguous calls for speculation.
What do you call them? The things that you said yesterday, what did you call them that were on your fingernail?
Flat rhinestone.
Flat rhinestones.
Mm-hmm.
Were any of them sharp?
Not if they're flat, they're not sharp. If they're like 3D, like popping up, they sharp. But if they're flat, they're not sharp.
Okay. And do you ever wear the ones that are 3D?
Objection relevance.
Were you wearing the ones that were 3D on the date of the incident?
No.
At any time?
No.
Shout out to everybody in the building. Let's take time to double tap that screen. To hit the like.
How do you know that those
subscribe to the channel
rhinestones
if
that
you're
are
new?
3D, how do you know they're sharp?
Hey,
Why did you
AJ.
tell us that?
Counsel, why are we talking about things that didn't touch?
Continue to double tap that screen, guys. Let's get these likes up. Let's click those 3 dots, hit that thumbs up.
Do you
let's
remember
most
how many
definitely subscribe
rhinestones
if
were
you're
on
new.
each fingernail? If it was 1, 2, or 3?
Objection. Ask the answer.
Sustained.
Let's get Anthony up out of here, guys. He said no.
Aside from that
Let's
day,
get him on a
the
rocket
date of the
ship.
incident,
We'll holler
which
at you,
was
Anthony.
February 24th of 2018. Aside from that day, have you ever seen Miss Imani Ellis either before or after that day?
No. Honest truth, I wouldn't even recognize, like, I totally forgot how she looked until I came here again. Like,
Well, isn't everything you just told us the honest truth?
yes.
Now, when Miss Tiara Malcolm came outside, she came outside, it was about 40 to 50 seconds, and she came out first, right?
Mm-hmm.
How long after that?
Yes.
How long after that piece did the doctor come out? Because he came out after her, right? They didn't come out together, did they?
Tiara?
Guess what, Loretta? Anthony won't be responding. He's gone. You can be gone with him.
When Tiara Malcolm came outside, did she come by herself or with the doctor or someone else?
She came out by herself.
So how long after she came out did the doctor come out?
He came out like 4 to 5 seconds later, 3 seconds later.
When Tiara Malcolm came outside, how did she get between the two of you if you were chest to chest?
She literally, she was like, what are you guys doing? What's going on? What's going on? And then she was like, this bitch just fucking hit me. This bitch just hit me. I'm about to fuck her up. And I'm just like, I was so confused because it's like, no, I didn't. Like, I didn't hit you. And then, that's when like Finky came out. And he's like, what's going on? Go to my office. So I just like went to his office and stuff like that. Like, that's it. It's done.
Right, but you testified that Tiara Malcolm at some point was in between the two of you.
Yes.
You got a hamburger bun with a hamburger.
Yeah.
She was the hamburger, and the two of you were the buns, correct?
Yeah.
Right.
How did the hamburger get inside the bun?
I'm not sure if I gave her space or one of us gave her space. She wasn't like really like in. She was just like, what are you guys doing? What is this? And then she just got in the middle because she just was like going crazy. I don't know where she just turned up like.
And you just testified now that Imani Ellis was yelling that you hit her, correct?
Yes.
She was saying that.
He asked her the exact
You didn't hit
same
her.
question
No.
he asked yesterday.
Did you take a swing at her?
No.
When Miss Tiara Woods was in between the two of you, did you try to take a swing over Miss Tiara Woods?
No.
How tall are you?
So I don't know who Tiara Woods is, but
Tiara Malcolm, I apologize. Tiara Malcolm. How tall are you? How tall are you?
How tall I am?
Yeah.
5'3".
Okay, how about on that
Dang, you
day of the
short,
incident
Cardi.
when you had your shoes
5'3".
on?
I thought you was
Were they
taller
flats?
than
Were they heels? What was it?
Just like big flats.
So, and do you know how tall Miss Imani Ellis is?
No.
When you were standing face to face, were your eyes like the same level, or did she look taller? Did she look shorter?
Thank you to everybody
What
that
is
hit
your
that like
recollection?
button.
We was face to face, so she's practically like my height, or just much taller, but she was practically my height. But she is like
What? Say it.
security heavy.
What does security heavy mean? Just tell us. There's no harm.
She won't Cardi to call that woman.
Like
He
she
won't Cardi to
just
call her
looks a
fat.
little like she could protect the building type big. You know what I'm saying? She just
Right.
looked more developed than me.
And aren't security guards to be more developed than you?
assisting.
He won't Cardi to call that lady fat, y'all. He trying to provoke her to do it, man. Shout out to everybody in the building. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. Make sure y'all double tap that screen, get the likes up, and most definitely subscribe
Did
to
you
the
at
channel
any
if you're new.
time tell Miss Imani Ellis that you were pregnant?
No.
That building, you agree, is not Cedars-Sinai Hospital, correct?
Objection, my explanation. Also, this was covered.
I withdraw the question.
Stop spamming the chat talking
The
about
building
you
you
love
were in
Trump.
was a medical
This ain't about Trump.
but it wasn't a hospital.
No.
Was it a hospital?
No.
And there's all type of different tenants that are in the building, right?
Objection, my explanation.
Do you know if there were other tenants that had offices in that building?
Objection, relevance.
You were on the 5th floor, correct?
Yes.
And when you were walking down the hall, there were other doors there, correct? It wasn't just Dr. Finke. There was other different offices there, correct?
Objection, relevance.
Assisting.
Hey, AJ.
When you were getting angry, did you believe that your anger would harm your baby?
Objection, relevance.
Assisting.
When you went to see Dr. Finke, did you tell him, I got so angry right now, something happened, whatever you told me, is it harmful to my baby? Did you ask him?
Assisting. Council, do you have anything to do?
Make sure y'all taking time to double tap that screen. Most definitely subscribe if you new. This is the assault trial against Cardi B, where a security guard is alleging that she
earlier-
scratched her face.
Well, I'll withdraw that. Yeah, did you post anything about the incident of February 24th, 2018 on the internet?
Objection, relevance.
Overruled.
I think I said something because around that time she did went live and said something, and my fans caught it. and she was just practically saying like all of these lies about me and stuff like that. And I was like, I did not touch that girl at all. I never really got into details about it. I just.
And when she was posting things, she was telling other people that you assaulted her or hit her or did something physical, correct?
Yes.
And then you replied and posted things as well, correct?
Yes.
Do you remember what you posted?
I don't think I posted something. I'm not even sure if it was a comment or like if I did like a live or something. It had to be quick. I was like, that's a fucking lie.
Stop cussing, Cardi.
Trying to get some money.
Potty mouth.
What was that?
I said, that's a fucking lie.
Hey!
Fuck out of here. Just trying to get some money.
This Cardi got a filthy mouth.
She is.
How do you know that?
Because she sued me for $24 million.
Did you sue her?
No.
Could you have sued her?
Objection is relevant.
Let's continue to hit that like button, guys. Click the three dots.
Did you ever apologize on those internet or emails or whatever you posted? Did you ever on the posts apologize for anything that you did that day?
Objection is relevant.
What's up, Jay Stevens?
Do you feel by using all those words you should have apologized?
Objection is relevant.
But I appreciate everybody that's hitting that like button. Continue
Are
to
you
hit it.
aware that your security guard spoke to Imani Ellis in the lobby shortly after this incident? Are you aware of that?
Last allegation.
I'm not aware of that. He didn't tell me he talked to her.
Okay. Are you aware that your security guard, Karan Newton, on the day of the incident, apologized to Miss Ellis on your behalf?
Objection.
They're trying to say that Cardi cut a
guard tell
security
you
guard's
that he
face.
apologized to Miss Ellis on your behalf at any time?
Objection. Asked and answered. Argumentative. Last foundation.
I think they're just trying to get our money,
Have you ever
guys.
been assaulted and battered in your life?
Objection, Your Honor.
Have you ever been abused in your life?
Counsel, if you're out of questions, you can ask the question.
Did you know that by your actions, you took away the feeling of safety for Imani Ellis?
All right. Counsel?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you done?
The judge had to get on him, guys. He's way out of line, man. He's way out of line. Man,
And do you agree that
prosecution
this incident, which we're talking about, why we're all here today, is occurred 7.5 years ago? Are you aware of that?
Yes.
Okay, and that's 2,741 days ago, based on my math.
Sustained.
How do you remember all of these details that you gave us from 2,741 days ago?
Objection. As to the days.
He's badgering the witness.
Yeah.
They gonna lose. Cardi and them gonna win.
I remember like the basics. I don't remember like the whole. I remember the basics. Like it was, but it's not really much to remember. It was a in and out thing.
All right, and have you ever used your nails to scratch yourself? Like if you get a bug bite, have you ever done that before?
Objection, Your Honor. Relevant.
Sustained.
Boy, Cardi team is on their job. They not letting nothing pass. Hey, y'all, we 25 weeks.
Did you have any jewelry on you at the time of the incident, whether it was on your hands or your neck?
Objection. Asked and answered.
Sustained.
We're 75 likes away from 1,000, guys. Continue to double tap that screen.
When you were in the hallway, did you block Miss Ellis from leaving? Even if it was for 1 second?
No.
Did she block you from leaving?
Yes.
50 more likes, guys.
She
We'll
blocked me
be at
from
1K.
moving. She was right in my face. She was right in my face.
Okay, and when you were standing there,
25 more likes, guys.
I'm sorry, were you facing Dr. Finke's office or a different side? Do you understand the question?
15 more
I
likes.
withdraw the question. When this whole thing happened, did you start to move around in a circle, or were you?
We're there.
standing
Shout out to
in the
y'all. We hit
same
1K
spot?
on that like button.
Objection has the answer. I think you covered.
And I'm going to be quiet. Thank y'all.
When you say that she was blocking you, were you facing towards Dr. Finke's office? Yes?
Objection.
Tell your sister to shut up, Trump. Trump, tell your sister stop calling my phone. I don't want to talk. We 1K on the like button. Make sure y'all subscribing if y'all
Karan Newton,
do.
how long was he your security guard as of the date of the incident?
Objection.
For how long?
Sustained.
Would you consider yourself a peaceful person?
Objection is relevant.
Sustained.
One thing I can say is that Cardi's team
And
is
after
on
you
their
saw
job.
Dr. Finke, you spent about 15 minutes with him, you left the building, correct?
Yes.
When you left the building, did you see Imani Ellis as you were exiting?
No.
Did you see your security guard downstairs?
Yes.
And he was in the lobby area waiting for you?
That's the answer.
Sustained.
Okay. And when you left the building, you went to the parking lot, or was the car waiting for you outside?
Objection relevant.
Sustained.
He ran out of questions.
Aside from Tiara Malcolm and Dr. Finke and Imani Ellis, who were in that hallway, were there any other people there?
No.
Did any other doctors come up to that floor?
No.
You're sure?
Absolutely.
How are you sure?
Objection to
Sustained.
When you were in the 5th floor, did anybody come from the stairwell up to hear what happened?
Objection.
If you know, do you know if anyone did?
I apologize. I thought you were done.
I'll withdraw it. I will ask it differently.
Cardi's team
When
ain't
you were
letting
up
that
there
slide.
outside the hallway with Imani Ellis, did you see anyone else, whether it was a security guard, another doctor, or someone else, come up from the stairwell, which was close to the elevator area?
Objection. That's the answer.
Sustained.
Shout out to everybody in the building, man.
I forgot to ask you one thing about when you were chest to chest. Did you ever touch Imani Ellis's face or nose with your finger?
No.
You never touched her nose like this?
No.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Dang!
We're going to take our morning recess. Why don't we start back up at 10:50. In the meantime, please do not discuss the case with anyone, including other jurors. Don't call me accused or do any research. We'll see you at 10:50. Sustained.
Man, that dude kept on asking the same questions that he asked yesterday, guys. That's crazy, man. You know what I'm saying? It looked like he blew it right there. What y'all think? Y'all think he blew it? Let's see what the polls say. Hold on. Let's see what the polls say. All right, so out of 3,100 people that voted, I asked, will Cardi B win this case? 64% of y'all said yes, and 35% of y'all said no. So it seems like the majority of us feels like Cardi and them is gonna win. You know, this is most definitely looking like a money grab on behalf of the security guard, the physician that testified yesterday, the psychiatrist. They trying to put their hands in Cardi's pocket. Cardi already told them she did not scratch that woman on the nose. She did not scratch that woman on the neck. She did not touch that lady, period. But they continue to try to make her say that she did, man. It's crazy. Cardi doing all this cussing, you know, she's most definitely being the Cardi that we know her to be. Yeah, man. I don't know, man. I think they trying to stick their hands in Cardi's pocket, and Cardi ain't having it, man. Real talk. If you new over here, make sure you subscribe to the channel, man. We most definitely cover everything news. And when I say everything, I do mean everything, guys. I got a couple minutes here. They're going to be back here shortly. Have any of y'all heard about the situation that happened in Minneapolis, guys? Maybe they got some updates on it. I'm most definitely covering that and this. So we're going to teleport over to Minnesota, man, to see what they got going on, man. Shout out to y'all. We ain't going nowhere. We'll be right back in the building when they are in the building with the Cardi B situation, guys. They said they'll be back in like 30 minutes, you know, so we'll be back when they be back, but we're not going anywhere just yet. Hold on. Let me switch over. Let me teleport. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. Hold on. I got to switch over.
Horror. And don't just say this is about thoughts and prayers right now. These kids were literally praying. It was the first week of school. They were in a church. These are kids that should be learning with their friends. They should be playing on the playground. They should be able to go to school or church in peace without the fear or risk of violence, and their parents should have the same kind of assurance.
Yeah, we've heard this time and time again, right? Kids should be able to just go to school. They should be able to go to church. They should be able to pray. Literally what they were doing at this time. We know that this particular school and church has mass on Wednesdays at 8:15 this morning when that shooting happened.
So for y'all that don't know, you know, this situation occurred earlier this morning, like 9 o'clock. This is actually a live feed. They're still processing the scene right now. It seems like a woman who was disguised as a man went to a Catholic school, guys, and started shooting through the window, injuring 20 people, unaliving 2 little ones. When I say little ones, I mean like kids, you know, basically unalived 2 kids. This is the second mass situation that went on in Minneapolis in the last 24 hours, guys.
Down like this, HCMC received 10 or 11 patients. There was a little uncertainty about that, but at last report, 10 patients and 6 other victims. 7 went to Minnesota Children's Hospital. One of those has been released. Those were all children, obviously, that have gone there. But again, 6 children are still there. 1 has been released, and we do know that 7 total of the 17 others injured are still in critical condition. 4 of those underwent surgery this morning as well.
We know the gunman fired so many shots that neighbors nearby actually thought there was construction or maybe roofing going on because there were so many shots fired they didn't even realize that it was gunfire. And Minneapolis police saying the gunman used 3 weapons, a shotgun, a pistol, and a rifle. And again,
babies,
so
guys.
many children also taken to hospitals, HCMC, Masonic Children's and Children's Hospital. MPD responded, providing first aid on the scene and also having to rescue so many children who were hiding in the church as well. Parents then running to the scene to reunite with their children. One of the images that really struck me is a mom who is holding her dress shoes, running in her bare feet toward the school this morning.
It should be noted that this shooter, now identified, as we said, as Robin Westman, 23-year-old, shot through the church windows directly into the pews of the church at the children. And he stayed outside. There were no shell casings found inside. So the investigation right now suggests that he shot
we
from
got some
outside the church and then
eyewitnesses,
killed
guys.
himself in the
Hold
rear
up.
outside behind the
We got
church.
some eyewitnesses.
There were a couple comments earlier.
Let me switch over to this other one where they got eyewitnesses talking about what happened over there, guys. Hold on. Here we go.
It was just gut-wrenching. Yeah.
Now, when I got here to the scene around 9 o'clock this morning, I had to park on the far other side of this crime scene and had to walk over here to meet up with my colleague and had to walk several blocks. I saw dozens of families, parents and their kids were just, reunited. A lot of tears, a lot of relief. It just so many emotions here, and so many families, that are still figuring things out. A lot of them waiting for updates at the hospital right now who are directly affected by this. And so, we're going to stay here, try to get some updates on the investigation. As I mentioned, that press conference is going to be around 2 o'clock this afternoon. So we'll see, hopefully get an update from police, maybe city leaders, on what they've uncovered over the last couple of hours. Back to you.
All right, Gordon, we appreciate it. This information keeps changing minute by minute almost. It's just one of those situations where the new information keeps coming in and we keep learning different things. So it's just unfolding in real time.
Yeah, it's here now, right? We were just here, not long ago.
We'll be back with Cardi as soon as they crank it back up.
Did you say that other Catholic schools
in Minneapolis,
the Twin Cities were closed today?
Yes, they were either on lockdown, and I can't speak for all of them. I only know two for a fact that we're either on secure, which is just a way of saying it's like a light lockdown where they no one can come or go. The kids would do inside recess, and not really being told anything because there's some kids are so little that
you don't want to panic, you don't want to
exactly. We do cover everything news,
so yes,
guys.
some Catholic schools I know were on secure or lockdown today.
Okay. We also have Jessica Hart, I believe, who's out in the field right now. Is that right, you guys? We have Jessica. We're going to head out to her. Hey, Jessica, how you doing? What can you tell us?
Yeah, hey, Chris. We actually just saw a SWAT vehicle roll out here about just 60 seconds ago. So the scene is still active, but some personnel are starting to leave the scene here. Now, I did check in with a fire official who says that they will be here for several more hours. He doesn't anticipate this scene wrapping up anytime soon. Now, they have expanded their perimeter quite a bit since we've been here, and they aren't really letting people, they're letting people leave because there's a grocery store right next to us, but they're not letting anyone come in here. So it's pretty quiet where we've been at so far this entire morning. Not much has changed within the last 30 minutes or so. We do have the American Red Cross van just standing, or parked right next to us rather, and they're really just kind of providing some snacks and water to these first responders who have been out here for hours. We have several community service officers also out here setting up tables, keeping a perimeter. They're also kind of walking around in groups. We haven't seen too many officers kind of walk off by themselves. We have seen what looks like a few school officials in lanyards. They're kind of walking down this way toward Lyndale and 54th, just kind of walking in that direction. We're not sure exactly why. Maybe their cars are parked over there. But it's been a very quiet scene here, which is very different from what it was just 2 hours ago when we had police officers searching this neighborhood with canines, going into the back of businesses, just searching for any sort of evidence. We had neighbors just watching everything unfold. One woman we talked with said she wasn't home, but her kids were, and they heard the gunshots. Another woman says she was playing with her grandson outside on the swing when she heard 3 rounds of shots.
Cardi B and them are on lunch break. They're on lunch break right now. As soon as they come back, we'll come back with it. This is the situation going on in Minneapolis, the other story that I was covering.
With police cars and ambulances, and now you can see it's definitely cleared out quite a bit. You still have police cars here, Parks Police is still here. They're still kind of guarding that front entrance and also a side entrance over here, but it's really quieted down within the last about 45 minutes, Chris. Back to you.
Thanks, Jessica. And the one thing that's so different about this terrible tragedy versus the previous one concerning our lawmakers is that there's no active manhunt right now. We know that threat, at least as much as we know, is over. But what we can't explain right now is why.
I don't know that that's a question that will ever get answered. Even if you know there is a motive behind it, there's still no reason why something like this would happen. There's no logical explanation for why something like this would happen. This was the second shooting in the city in the last 2 days. You know, the police force, yes, and HCMC have been very busy dealing with gun violence over the last 2 days, and this has waves of Sandy Hook to me, just with how little these kiddos are.
Yes. And they're in the place of what's
guys.
supposed to be the ultimate
Prayers
comfort,
for those
which would be
babies.
your place of worship, next to the other place of ultimate comfort, which is supposed to be with your new friends in school. I mean, we don't have to lecture the public on how tragic this is, but we're trying to put it into perspective. Can't imagine how every parent feels right now as everyone is sending their children back to school, right? And you're all wondering, okay.
No, this is Minneapolis, Dennis.
And that's what terror does to you. And we have to be able to fight back psychologically. Ken Martin is the chair of the Democratic National Committee now. He was the head of the
Hold up.
Running up this hill to get as close to the school as they could, if not to the school, hoping that they were going to reunite with their babies. And it was frantic, it was terrifying, it was devastating to watch. And then we did get some reprieve, though, as about an hour later we started to see families starting to walk down the hill, holding their children so very tight, either in their arms, or if there were multiple children, hands were clenched as they continued to walk down the hill to their homes or to their vehicles to go back home. I'm only imagining, as a mother myself, those children are not going to be anywhere outside of those parents' view anytime soon. You can see all the cameras that are set up behind me. Again, all of us waiting for another update from either Police Chief Brian O'Hara or Minneapolis City Mayor Jacob Fry. We also do know that the FBI is here, the ATF, the Minnesota BCA. So we could hear from those folks as well as we continue to learn more about the suspect and things that may have been left behind. We know that not only where Eric Rasmussen is right now, that home believed to be the last known address for the suspected shooter here, we also did learn from the police chief this morning that there was a vehicle that was parked outside of the school in the parking lot that was believed to be the suspected shooters as well. We know that they were combing through that early this morning as well, probably still are. Again, this scene continues to unfold. On the side that we're on right now, it is starting to dwindle a bit. But again, folks waiting here for more updates from officials expected anytime this afternoon. Leah Paul.
Okay, and we're just getting word from President Trump right now that flags have been ordered half staff across the country until the 31st. As we hear this information and we hear from different people who were there in these experiences, and it is just so tragic as you hear it. And then we heard from the ER doctor who was in charge over at HCMC as these kids were brought in. And 4 of them had to go immediately into the operating room. Thank goodness this is just 6 miles from the school, HCMC, where they could get to these kids, and they are the experts. They're trauma one. They can handle it. We know at least 6 kids were also taken to Children's. They had lesser injuries. So it has really been one of those things. Our team continues to stay at the hospital, track what's going on there as well. And we just continue to find out more and more as the day progresses.
One child, we understand, has been discharged. A little bit of good news in all this tragedy. You mentioned the president ordering flags at half staff. We are heartbroken here in Minnesota, here in the Twin Cities, in the city of Minneapolis. As we mentioned earlier, families are getting ready to send kids back to school. Some will go next week. A lot have already started. Watching the kids right now, you see a family. This was a family we heard from earlier, mom and dad showing up, picking up their daughter from school in her uniform at a Catholic school. And this will have such a big impact on us here in the Twin Cities and around the nation. We do want to get back out to our Camaria Bray. She has been outside of Hennepin County Medical Center for most of the morning since this happened. Camaria, you have spoken to multiple people, including family members of the children. You've been speaking to the medical staff. And I can imagine, Camaria, you're probably hearing from other people who maybe aren't even involved, but see you out there and are shocked to hear about all of this, asking you for details.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of mouths just dropping when people are hearing that these were children that were victims of a school shooting. And as calm and quiet as it seems outside of HCMC right now, it is a different case inside. We spoke to an uncle of an 8th grader who says inside the building, there are several parents that are in a frenzy. They're frantic, they're shocked, and they're hoping that their children pull through. HCMC says 10 patients were brought here from the school. That's 2 adults and 8 who are children ages 6 to 14 years old. And the man we talked to says that his nephew is an 8th grader. His nephew was shot in the stomach and is out of operation. He is recovering, but he remembers some heartbreaking details. And this is what he tells us.
The way he described what he went, you know, he said, I knew I was hit and I went down and scrunched, but within that process, I saw like a piece of flesh fly past my face. And he also witnessed a girl get shot in the head.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, he just said that effortlessly, like he was playing a video game.
He says there's going to be a long recovery for his nephew and so many other children beyond just the physical, also mental and emotional, the trauma that they just experienced. And parents are still here just trying to figure out what happened. We saw several parents running inside the building. A mom says that her son was shot. She was with her daughter. They were crying. We saw a man and his son. His son actually had a uniform on, so may also be a student at that school who may have survived this and is checking on a sibling here. We did also speak with a bishop who says that this happened during Mass and that he is here to comfort the several families that are here. But again, we're just working to get more information, and we're looking to speak to some more families, hoping that these children do pull through.
And Kamaria, I do want to ask you about that. You spoke to that bishop, talking about the challenges for the families, the waiting to find out, the trauma experience, and speaking to the medical team there at HCMC, they talked about how they're bringing in teams.
The shooter was armed with a rifle, a shotgun, and a pistol. Lord, have mercy.
Supporting families right now?
Yeah, they said there is a unification center here as well, and that they've had several team members coming together from blood banks to help support them. Again, we know that there are 10 patients that were brought here from the school, 2 adults, 8 that are kids from ages 6 to 14 years old, 4 due to operation. And when we talked to the chair of the emergency medical, he was talking about how this is just taking a toll on their staff. This is the second shooting, mass casualty shooting where they've had to deal with it within the second day. Remember, that was the situation that happened yesterday in Minneapolis as well, near East Lake Street. So they're also just shocked that they're having to deal with this back to back. And as far as that bishop who came here to pray and has been speaking with some of these families, I want to play a little bit of his sound as well.
Very sad, very many in shock, disbelief of what has happened to the church, and look what happened.
The hospital says around 8:45 this morning, that is when they were given the heads up that there were going to be several patients here from the school. And we are told that if there is an update to any of their conditions that we will be finding out, they'll post something on social media or also send something to our newscast as well.
Okay, Kamaria Bray, we're going to stay on top of this all throughout the afternoon. We're going to bring you the information from our team of reporters, everybody on the ground out there. You know, this is the time, and we've talked about this. This should be a wonderful time of year. School is starting for kids, going back to school, which should be great. There's still some summer break left for other kids. That should be great. The fair is going on, and that should be great. In fact, I ran into the director of the fair in the hallway coming out here, and she just gave me a hug, and she said, this is a terrible day. And it really is. Such unbelievable things have happened today, and we continue to hear from leaders and lawmakers across the country.
We do, and we do want to say that for those of you just joining us, it's 1:25 this afternoon. You don't normally see Paul and I sitting out here at this time of day. We have been on the air with breaking news. Our team has been working since 8:30 this morning to bring you updates on this tragedy in Minneapolis. I do want to just take a moment to reset some of the facts for some of you who might just be joining us here. This all started at 8:30 this morning with a shooting at Annunciation Catholic School and Church in Minneapolis. This is on 54th and Lyndale in that area. The shooting happened as the children were gathered at a school mass. The kids gathered at around 8:30 this morning, the church, the school, right there on the same property in Minneapolis. And an 8 and 10-year-old child were killed in all of this. Around 20 people total were injured. That does include the gunman who took their own life outside in the parking lot. Police responded right away. Children were hiding under pews. Teachers, staff members, parishioners, priests rushing children out of the area, getting them into safety, bringing them to the gym, bringing them to a preschool area. And then right after this happened, as you can imagine, parents hearing about the tragedy rushed in, and they had to manage the response of having parents pick their children up. And that's some of the video you're seeing here. Kids in Catholic school uniforms, moms and dads, parents, grandparents, showing up and putting their arms around their children and hugging them, bringing them home, bringing them to safety. We have been heartbroken in our newsroom. A number of people on our staff, as they report, parents, people who live in Minneapolis, struck by the tragedy of this today. We're also hearing from a lot of lawmakers.
Right.
Reacting, not just here in Minnesota. People are talking about this all around the U.S. right now.
And we have Richard Reeve. He is out. He has been talking to Senator Amy Klobuchar today. And Rich, what did the senator have to say about all this? I'm sure she is just as shocked and heartbroken as the rest of the world on this.
Yeah, Paul, Senator Klobuchar called the shootings this morning an unbelievable tragedy. She said the day started with so much hope, as you guys mentioned, that her thoughts are with so many parents who bring their kids to school or put them on the bus, then to hear that emergency call that children have been gunned down. Klobuchar says Kate Nyland, a former staffer, had family members inside the school when the shooting began.
Her daughter, Cora, she had 3 kids in that room. So many of them had multiple kids, the parents in the room, watched some of her best friends be shot. One in the stomach, one in the neck. She described the scene of the kids scrambling under the pews to try to hide, to try to protect themselves. And she also described how her daughter, 12-year-old, has to go and tell one of the dads when they're running out of the school that his kid had been shot.
Now, Klobuchar says the country needs to take a close look at gun laws. She does acknowledge she doesn't have specifics about the weapons involved in the shootings this morning. She says her thoughts are with the affected families and pleaded with a toning down of rhetoric out there, especially online. In the news, Richard Reeve, 5 Eyewitness News.
Okay, Rich, yes, we have been hearing from leaders across the country all day today. And of course, we have been digging through the details of what happened throughout this entire process.
Okay, we back with Cardi.
The testimony of the plaintiff during her testimony in order to call an out-of-order witness. At this point in time, we're going to suspend the testimony of Mr. Almanzar in order to call a defense witness out of order. So we're going to suspend the plaintiff's case in chief at this point in time. We're going to call a defense witness, and who is that going to be?
We're back with Cardi, guys.
All right, thank you.
Ma'am, if I can please have you stand right next to the court reporter. Right over here. Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly state that the testimony you may give in the cause now pending before this court shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Yes.
Thank you. May I please have you state and spell your first and last name for the record?
Tierra Malcolm.
Spell it? Yes, please.
Tierra Malcolm Malcolm.
Great, thank you. You may take a seat. Please watch your step.
Okay.
Hey, now we're back with the Cardi B trial, guys.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning, Ms. Malcolm. My name is Peter Anderson, and we just have a few questions. I'll try and make it as quick as possible. Where were you working in February of 2018?
Women's Care, OBGYN doctor's office.
Thank you. And do you recall an encounter between Cardi B and the woman to my left?
Yes.
Okay. What was your position at the doctor's office in February 2018?
A receptionist, front office.
Okay. And did Cardi B have an appointment that day?
Yes.
Was it a Saturday?
Yes.
Was there, to your knowledge, were there any other offices that were open that day?
No.
And you remember the time of the appointment?
It was the end of, we purposely closed, so we had early day, maybe between 12 and 1, I'm assuming.
Okay. And what do you mean by purposefully closed?
For Cardi B. We didn't want anyone there.
To maintain privacy?
Yes.
So, to your knowledge, how did you learn that there was an encounter between the two?
Well, I was waiting for Cardi B's arrival, and I heard commotion out in the hallway. And there was a door to exit right where I was sitting. So I opened the door and I looked, and I heard and saw the commotion. And that's how I learned that something was going on outside.
Could you please describe for the jury what you heard and saw when you opened the door?
I saw them in the corner, Cardi B's back to the wall, and just a lot of arguing and, you know, just confrontation.
Okay. Do you recall anything that plaintiff Ms. Ellis said?
It was just very argumentative as far as, you know, cursing and, you know, just be this, be that. I don't know if I can curse, but.
So we've heard just about everything so far. So.
Don't do it. It's been one of those trials.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
What did you do?
I immediately walked over there and got in between them and was like, whoa, what's, you know, my thing was I'm at work. So the first thing that really came out of my mouth is to Miss Ellis, just as far as, what are you doing? You're at work, go back to your post. And then I don't know how long it was, but I couldn't get her. I just wanted everything to go away. I just was trying to calm everything down, take Cardi B into the office, and and I was trying to go. It was my sister's baby shower, so I was trying to get out of there. But I mean, that wasn't on my mind then, but just to calm the situation down and get her into the office.
How did Ms. Ellis respond?
I don't even know if she heard what I asked, because it was just more of just being upset. And no, I'm not going to do that. And just, you know, them still exchanging words even with me in between.
Yeah. Was Ms. Ellis yelling at Cardi B?
I mean, it was pretty loud for me to hear. It was still the same volume from when I could hear them while I was in the office down the hall. So I would say so.
Was Ms. Ellis cursing at Cardi B?
There was definitely curse words, yes, on her end.
What's up, Stop?
When you were there, did Ms. Ellis attempt to strike Cardi B?
There was hands going while I was in the middle. I know no one landed, or I was, you know, I didn't even realize, I guess because my adrenaline, that I had a mark on my forehead. So besides me getting a scratch, nobody, as far as them two, hit each other.
Who scratched you?
Based off of, like I said, I didn't know that I even got scratched until I went into the office, and the nurse was like, Tiara, your forehead. But I can only assume Cardi B was behind me, because that was my main concern.
The objection calls for speculation.
So Cardi B was behind you, and you were facing who?
I was facing Miss Ellis.
And you got hit on your forehead and didn't even realize it at that point.
Yeah, blood.
Just let him finish the question.
Oh, sorry.
And so you got hit, you were facing Miss Ellis, and she was swinging away?
I can say there was definitely, you know, people talk and like this type of action going on.
Hello to everybody in the
And
building.
you were hit on your forehead,
Yeah,
which was facing Miss Ellis, correct?
Yes.
What happened next?
after, just going back and forth, Dr. Finke came out. Once he came out, I believe after that, I don't even really remember what was said, but I know I continued to take Cardi B into the office, to her exam room, and then I went back to the front.
Okay. Did you witness Dr. Finke try to get Miss Ellis to leave the hallway?
Yes, that's what kind of, since he came out and he was talking to her, that's what kind of
what's up, Bliss?
Distracted her, gave us the opportunity to just go into the office.
Okay. And do you recall anything that he said to her?
I think he was on the same temperature as me, just you're at work. Why are you up here? Go back, downstairs. And what are you doing? Type of energy.
Okay. And so you turned around and escorted Cardi B into the doctor's office?
Yes, I followed behind her to go to the exam room.
When you were face to face with Miss Ellis, I think you could see her face?
Yes.
Did you see any scratches on her face?
No.
Did you see any cuts on her face?
No.
Did you see any blood on her face?
No.
Did you see any injury at all on her face?
No.
No.
Did you see any spit or spittle on her face?
No.
Did anyone spit in that encounter?
Objection calls for speculation.
Well,
while I was there, no.
She said she didn't see no scratches on that woman's face.
Did you hear Miss Ellis yell at Cardi B, and excuse my language, "I will fuck your shit up"?
Whoa!
Something along those words.
At any point in time in that confrontation, did Cardi B hit Miss Ellis?
No.
At any point in that confrontation, did Cardi B cut Miss Ellis with Cardi's fingernails?
Objection calls for speculation.
While you were there?
Over.
No. Did you hear Cardi B use the N-word, excuse me, I apologize. Yeah, no, did you hear Cardi B use the N-word? You know what I mean by the N-word?
Yeah, no.
After this encounter and Cardi B had gotten into the doctor's office, at any point after that, did you talk to the building management about what had happened?
Yes, that was a Saturday. So Monday, my supervisor and Dr. Finke wanted to make a report since there was an incident and, the importance of making sure our patients, their privacy isn't compromised. So yeah, they asked me to go downstairs with them or with my supervisor and make a report.
After this incident, did plaintiff call you? Miss Ellis call you?
It was, yes, there was a call transferred to my line. It was her on the other end of the call.
How long after the incident? How long after February 24 of 2018?
Maybe, I can't recall exactly, but at least within, 3 months. It wasn't right after, but it wasn't too long after.
Can you tell us what the sum and substance of that conversation was?
Just kind of upset about what happened. She got fired. She couldn't believe that happened and wanted, I guess, to see if I can assist in any way since I was there. I pretty much replied as respectful as I could and just said, this is my place of work and I really can't have anything to do with this.
And was there any other thoughts that you had when she told you, did she tell you she was planning on suing Cardi B?
I don't remember word for word, but based off of our conversation, I assumed that was probably going to be one of her steps. But in my mind, I just was kind of shocked that she was calling based off of what took place. I figured, you know, she was at fault, so that was surprising that she would call me.
Thank you. Those are all the questions I have.
Okay.
All right.
Mr. Chairman, thank you.
Thank you all for coming back. Good morning.
Good morning.
Ms. Tiara Malcolm. When Miss Imani Ellis called you several months later and asked you to help her, what is the reason that you chose not to do so?
Well, main reason I didn't feel like she was in the right. I felt like based off of her position, working at the office, everything was handled unprofessionally, and going back and forth. No, she didn't work at our office, but clearly Cardi B was a patient going, you know, she had a purpose at that building where she worked at. So I didn't feel, I don't know what I would help her with. I don't think if I told my truth, it would help her. So.
Were you aware that Miss Ellis was a security guard at your building?
Yes.
Do you understand that the security guard is supposed to go from floor to floor to make sure everything is safe? Are you aware of that?
I don't know the rules.
I'm sorry, what was your question?
Irrelevant.
Assisting.
Had you ever seen Miss Ellis on other days aside from the date of the incident? And I will represent to you the date of the incident for purposes of all my questions will be February 24th of 2018.
I believe that was the first day I seen her there.
Okay. When you saw her, when you got to work, did you see her anywhere in the building?
No.
What time did you get to work?
On a Saturday, maybe around 8.
8 a.m.? Okay. And had you ever spoken to Miss Ellis before the date of the incident?
No.
Is there any reason why, when you would go to work at the 8920 building, Wilshire Boulevard building, for how long had you been working there before the date of the incident?
For about For about 7 years, just about.
And during those 7 years, did you see other security guards in the building?
Actually, relevant. Assisting.
And when Miss Ellis's attorneys asked you to cooperate and sign a declaration, did you do that?
A form.
Not a form. Did you ever sign a declaration under penalty of perjury on August 26, 2025, which would be yesterday?
A declaration. Sorry, I'm not.
May I approach you?
Sure.
Did you give permission to the other side to sign a declaration under penalty of perjury in this case? Have you ever signed any document related to this incident? Did you make any type of formal complaint to the building about this incident?
When my supervisor wanted to make a complaint, since I was there, yeah, that's when I went downstairs with my supervisor.
And who did you make a complaint to?
Douglas Emmett, the property management manager that managed the building.
Okay. And what was your complaint? What did you say?
They just wanted me to tell them what happened and the concern of the privacy of for our patients.
Are you a Cardi B fan?
I know her music. I guess I listen to her music. I listen to hip hop.
Okay. And you like her music, right?
Objection relevance.
Yes?
Yeah, she's talented.
All right. Have you ever gone to any of her concerts?
No.
Have you ever, well, I withdraw that. Okay. And for purposes of the visit on Saturday, the doctor's office decided to close to give her a special appearance to see the doctor, correct? I withdraw the question. When Cardi B came to the office, the purpose of her coming to your office was to see Dr. Finke for medical care, correct?
Yes.
Okay. When you went outside into the hallway, the confrontation that you testified about was already occurring before you got there, correct?
Yes, that's what made me go outside.
All right. Do you know for about how long this confrontation was going on before you made your way outside?
I was sitting there waiting, so as soon as I heard the noise, it wasn't that seconds after was when I heard it, so I don't think it was going on that long.
Okay. Did Cardi B, while you were there, in any way touch Miss Ellis?
No.
Did Miss Ellis in any way touch Cardi B while you were there?
No.
When you got there, were they chest to chest? Were they touching chest to chest?
I couldn't really see Cardi B because she was kind of cornered with her back against the wall. I really just saw Miss Ellis in front of her, and that's what made me rush and get in between them.
Okay. And when you say you saw her back against the wall, how were you able to see her back from where you were standing?
Objection is characterized.
Were you assuming that, I withdraw the question, were you assuming that Cardi B's back was up against the wall when you saw that?
No, I'm not assuming I could see it because I literally looked down the hall when I opened the door.
And was Cardi B's back actually touching the wall or was close to the wall?
I don't know if it was touching her. It was close, so I didn't.
And you know that this incident happened 7.5 years ago, correct?
Yes,
And
that's why I don't remember if her back was touching or inches away, but I know it was very close to the wall.
Right. And it was a very long time ago, so how did you remember all these details? Did you write them down somewhere? Did you record it? Or is this just off of memory from 7.5 years ago?
I just remember, there's certain things I remember when I was 4. I just remember because it was a confrontation and I was sitting there ready to go because I had to drive all the way to Tarzana. And it was a story that I had to my sister coming back, like, you can't believe why I was late type of story. Right. So.
And your purpose of coming here is to help Cardi B or help Miss Ellis?
My purpose is to tell the truth.
Of course.
That's my purpose.
And when Miss Ellis or her attorney tried to reach out to you, you refused to speak with them, correct? But when Cardi B's attorneys spoke to you and reached out to you, you talked to them immediately and you signed a declaration for them on the spot, correct?
Objection, Your Honor.
When you were there and you got in between the two of them, I want you to think of it like a hamburger bun. You're the hamburger and the two of them are the buns. How did you get in between them? Did you physically push them apart? Did they magically back up from one another? How did you get in between them? How?
Just like you said, it was 7 years ago. So I'm walking upset because of what I'm seeing. And that's just how I am when I see I mean, it's not like I see it all the time, but seeing what was going on, I just immediately, that's just what I did. I didn't really think about, I didn't really have a plan. That's just what I did to try to calm it down.
Okay, and Miss Ellis, who's sitting to my left, you heard her cursing at Cardi B on the date of the incident?
Yes.
You actually heard profanity,
I actually heard profanity.
Many different words.
Yes.
How do you know it wasn't Cardi B that was using the profanity?
They have two different voices.
Okay. Was Cardi B using any profanities on the date of the incident?
Yeah, she was upset.
Did she use profanity?
Profanity, yes.
F word.
Curse words.
Bitch, F you, all that, correct?
Yes.
And you don't really know what happened before you got there, correct? You have no way of knowing.
I wasn't there before I got there.
So if there was any physical contact, whether it was spitting, scratching or cutting someone's face, you wouldn't know that because you weren't there during that time period before you got there, correct? Do you understand my question? Let me withdraw it. In the, let's just call it the 40 to 50 seconds while there was a confrontation, I'll give you that estimated time. During the 40 to 50 minutes of seconds when they had their confrontation, you would have no way of knowing what happened during that duration of time because you weren't there. Is that fair?
Yeah, I wasn't there. I only heard.
No, anything could have happened, right?
Session of speculation.
Correct?
Yeah, I wasn't there.
Imani Ellis could have hit Cardi B.
She wasn't there.
Okay,
So.
I withdraw it. When you saw Cardi B that day, you spent time with her, right? In your medical office, correct?
Not a lot of time, but I spent the time from taking her to her examiner, making sure she was okay, and once the last patient was checked in, I was out of there.
Okay. And how long did you spend with her?
Not that long, maybe a minute, if that.
When the patient went...
I mean, when we went into the, just to make sure you're saying,
No.
when we went into the office, how long did I spend with her? Yeah, maybe.
15 minutes, half an hour?
No, I was still ready to go. Maybe a minute.
Did you notice that she was wearing, do you notice that she had fingernails? Did you look at her fingernails?
I don't remember that.
Did you notice that Cardi B had long fingernails on the date of the incident?
Objection, mischaracterizes the evidence and argumentative.
Did you see the size of Cardi B's fingernails on the date of the incident?
I don't remember her having or seeing her nails.
And have you ever seen her before? Does she wear long fingernails?
I don't know what she wears.
On the date of the incident, would you agree that because you did not look at her fingernails, you have no idea as to how long the fingernails were on the date of the incident?
Objection.
True?
Calls for speculation, lacks foundation.
When you said that you saw arms flying, you also testified a moment ago that you weren't sure whose arms were flying, correct?
Mischaracterized testimony.
I believe I stated I was facing Miss Ellis. So Cardi B was behind me.
Right.
So I could only see the arms that were flying in front of me. I can't recall. She was behind me, so right. I think I would have felt something behind me.
Okay. So if Cardi B had taken a swing, you would not be able to see that?
Most likely I would. Oh, sorry.
See, I'm not talking about feeling. Would you agree that because Cardi B was behind you, if she took a swing without touching your body, you would not be able to see that? True?
Mischaracterizes the testimony and is calls for speculation.
Overruled.
I didn't see her hands flying on the side of me.
I understand that. But again, I would like to know the answer to this question.
What was your question? I'm sorry, I forgot.
Of course. So the question is, because you were facing Imani Ellis, you have no idea what Cardi B was doing at that moment, right?
Objection.
So if Cardi B was...
She was pretty much like the back of this chair. That's how close she was to me.
I understand.
So I didn't feel anything or see any hands come from behind me.
Understood. But if Cardi B took a swing, because you were not facing her and you were focusing on Imani Ellis, and you don't have eyes in the
No, I
back of
didn't
your
see
head,
her hands.
you would not be able to know what she was doing.
Right.
So if she took a swing, you wouldn't be able to know. Fair?
Okay, yeah.
As far as what would you characterize the injury to your forehead?
A cut. It was just bleeding a little bit.
It was bleeding.
Yes.
Okay. How did that cut get there? I withdraw the question. Did that scratch or cut or anything get there at the time of this incident?
Yes, it definitely wasn't there before I went outside.
Okay. So now we're going to get into this. There's only 3 options, and you could add more if you want, but I'm going to give you 3. The cut came from you, the cut came from Ellis, or the cut came from Cardi B. Or make up your own. Where did the cut come from? And if you don't know, you can say, I don't know. Do you know?
It definitely didn't come from me.
Okay, so that's out. You got 2 more.
And
Ellis and Cardi B. Or your own.
Was behind me. So the only assumption that I had was it was from Miss Ellis because she was facing me.
Okay, but did you ever see Miss Ellis take her fingers or her hand or any other object and cause damage to your head? Did you ever see that?
I seen hands trying to reach over me. So, like I said, the adrenaline and everything was going so fast. But being that she was in front of me and hands were going like this, that's the only realistic assumption I can have is that that's why I got cut.
But you're assuming, correct?
Objection. I think you're asking her to assume, Counsel.
Are you assuming?
Your Honor, objection.
Yeah, why don't we move on?
How do you know that Cardi B's fingernail didn't cut your forehead?
Objection, Your Honor, asked and answered.
Assisting.
She was behind me.
You don't need to answer.
Oh, sorry.
Did Dr. Finke see the cut to your forehead?
I believe so. His nurse is the one who pointed it out.
Did you receive any medical treatment for that cut?
No. I just put some alcohol, alcohol.
All right, so you agree that something physical happened when the 3 of you were there because you got cut to your face. Is that fair? Something physical happened.
Objection, relevance.
Overruled.
If I got cut, I guess so. I don't.
Okay. So would you agree that there was a physical fight?
No.
So you just got cut from the air?
Objection, Your Honor.
Assisting.
Did Miss Imani Ellis have any fingernails?
I don't remember if she had fingernails.
Was Imani Ellis angry at the time of the incident?
Yes.
Was Cardi B angry at the time of the incident?
Objection, Your Honor.
Assisting.
And back to the hamburger question, did you at any point use your hands to separate the 2 of them, Imani Ellis and Cardi B?
No.
So did you just squeeze yourself in? How did you get in there?
Asked and answered, Your Honor.
Assisting.
When you had the conversation with Miss Ellis on the phone, did you actually speak with her?
Yes. On the phone? Yes.
Yeah. And let me ask you, when you were on the telephone, did she tell you anything, Miss Ellis, when she was talking to you that day?
From what I can remember, just being upset about what happened, her no longer being employed there, and I don't remember the word for word.
Okay. So she, Miss Ellis was basically asking you to assist her in some way to be her witness, correct? That was the purpose of the call?
Objection. False speculation.
Assisting.
Purpose.
Did Miss Ellis's attorney contact you?
I don't remember that.
Did Miss Ellis ever come inside your office at any time between the date of the incident and today?
Objection relevant.
Sustained.
Do you know if Miss Ellis spoke with Dr. Finke at any point?
Objection relevant.
Sustained.
As far as your background, do you have any professional degrees?
I got my AA at West LA College. I'm a real estate agent. That's about it.
Good. And have you ever been convicted of a felony?
No.
And aside from Dr. Finke's office, were you working other places during that time period? Or was that your main job?
That was my main job.
And at this time, you no longer work there, right?
No.
And on the date of the incident, because Cardi B was your patient, you felt that it was necessary to go outside to bring her inside to help her get inside for the medical appointment, correct?
Objection relevant. Ask the answer.
Sustained.
I have no further questions. Thank you.
All right, you're right.
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, any questions from the jury? Oh, you have one? Okay, great. I think these questions are appropriate. Ma'am, when you did you actually close your office to maintain privacy for Cardi B?
Yes.
And when you do that, was it your custom and practice to also notify the building security?
I honestly don't know if that was done or not.
Did you normally do that, or were you?
That wasn't my task, no.
Okay. Do you recall the N-word coming out of Cardi B's mouth?
No.
Can you describe Cardi B's emotional state during and after the incident?
Upset, emotional, worried about the reason why she was there. I don't know if I'm sure. But...
You don't know the details?
No, I don't know if
in terms of the medical issues? I mean,
yeah.
Testimony is that she was there for a pregnancy checkup.
Yeah, so just concerned about that and being upset about her privacy.
Did you notice whether Miss Ellis had a phone or a camera during the incident?
She had a phone in her hand.
She did have a phone in her hand?
Yes.
All right. Those are the questions that I think are appropriate. Any follow-up from defense?
Oh, no, Your Honor.
All right. For plaintiff?
Yes, just one follow-up, Your Honor.
The day when you decided to close your office to have a medical appointment, that was a Saturday. Is your medical office usually open on Saturday?
Yes.
And you usually close around 1:30 or 2 or 3, or you go all day?
No, it's half the day. So usually, from what I can remember, the last patient was around noon or 11:45, noon, somewhere around there.
Isn't it true that Cardi B was the last patient of the day?
Yeah, she was the last patient. So we finished our morning and made sure she was the last one.
You work
right there.
I'm sorry. Do you work on Sundays as well?
No.
And the half a day on Saturdays when you're there, were you in charge of closing the office?
Your Honor, this is outside the scope of the questions.
Assisting.
No further questions.
All right, can this witness be excused?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you for coming down.
Thank you.
Subject to recall.
Did you subpoena her?
No.
Then I'll make it subject to recall. All right. All right, do we want to resume the direct of Ms. Cardi B?
Yes.
All right.
Well, he's going to resume the direct case.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes.
So that was
Yes.
that was the 776 cross, so now it's
Yes,
the
yes,
defense
yes,
attorney.
yes, Your Honor, yes, yes.
We want to resume take the stand now?
Oh, okay. We go.
We're all ready for recess, that's all.
All right, hearing manager still under oath?
Yes.
All right, counsel. He passed the question.
Oh, he did?
Yes.
I apologize. Okay, then
I was
it is your
right.
turn.
Your Honor, I'm going to go beyond the scope.
We already discussed that. He was lodging objections, but you're going to be asking questions? Is that the plan?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Ms. Moore is going to be asking the questions, and the request is to...
No, we discussed you can go beyond the scope. Just typically, if it's your witness, you're doing the objections, okay? I'll let it go this time.
Okay.
Go ahead, Ms. Moore.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. Cardi, can you tell us how you got into the music industry?
Objection, relevance?
How I got into the music industry? Well, I became like a social media personality, and I had a manager at the time, and he always noticed that like I will always like do songs my way, like my wording. And he was like, "You're really witty and you're really quick. You should try making music." And I was like, all my friends do music. If they make it, I just think I'm gonna make it.
If you could just pull the microphone a little bit more towards you, or sit one part of there.
Okay. So I was just like, if my friends haven't made it yet, what makes you think I'm gonna make it? And he was like, just try it. No one hurt you to try. So I tried it, and I really enjoyed like listening to like the end results. It's like almost like cooking for me. Like I was like, oh, I'm not sure if I could cook, but I like the end results. Like I did pretty good. And that's how I got into music.
Were you doing any television?
Yes. Well, not when he suggested that like you should try to do music.
But later, were you doing any television?
Yes.
What type of TV? show?
Reality TV.
Reality. What show was it?
Love and Hip Hop.
Love and Hip Hop. Where? Love and Hip Hop.
Objection, relevance?
Overruled, but please move it along.
Yep. When did you release your first mixtape?
Objection, relevance?
Yeah, so I'll give you some background, but it needs to be a little bit more excited.
Sure. I'll cut to the chase. Cardi, do you have a record deal?
Objection, relevance?
Overruled.
With who?
Objection, relevance?
Overruled.
Atlantic Records.
Do you have any platinum certified songs?
Objection relevant.
Overruled.
Yes.
Do you have any Grammy awards?
Objection relevant.
Overruled. Counsel, you asked her about her siblings, you asked her about her
I'll
birthday,
move on,
you
Your
asked
Honor.
her a
Happy to
number of
move on.
questions.
Sure, happy to move on.
So,
Happy, Your Honor, thank you.
all right.
Party, why did you want to keep your pregnancy a secret?
I wanted to keep my pregnancy a secret because I just had a hit record. I haven't had my album out. And everybody that I worked with, they were very scared. You know, like I finally made it. And like people that like been in the industry also for like a while, it was like, I don't know if anybody has ever, a female rapper has ever came out pregnant on their freshman year without an album, just 1 or 2, 3 records. So I was very nervous. I was also kind of like, even though I was on TV, when I first had my first big record, Bodak Yellow, I was really like getting used to big fame, bigger stages and stuff. So I was just so worried about overwhelmed with what everybody was like saying and thinking, and I felt like I was just letting a lot of people down. But
And when you were face to face with Mrs. Ellis, did you ever threaten to get her fired?
No.
And I want to be very, very clear. Did you ever spit on Mrs. Ellis?
No.
Did you ever call Miss Ellis the N-word? Apologies.
No.
Cardi, where were you living in 2018?
In 2018, I was living in between New Jersey and Atlanta.
Where were your regular OBGYN doctors?
Objection relevant.
Why were you in LA the week of February 24th?
I was doing NBA All-Star Weekend, and I just had like a whole bunch of promotional things to do out here in California.
Was part of your work, did you have to attend an NBA game?
Yes.
Yesterday, plaintiffs, on the date of the incident, did you have black hair, blonde hair, or different color hair? Do you remember him asking you that?
Yes.
Do you remember how you responded?
I don't know. I really don't remember what color hair I had.
Your Honor, I'd like to show the witness some photographs, please.
Can you identify?
Can you show them to counsel first?
Of course.
And provide a copy?
Yes, I have one for you right now.
Are they pre-marked? Are they pre-marked?
No, I think it's for refresh your memory.
Yes.
You want to just like identify the next in order?
Yes, that's fine, Your Honor. Thank you. Which I think is...
And this is a photograph of who?
I'm sorry. Counsel, it's her direct. She can identify it for the record.
Thank you, Your Honor.
232?
Cardi, I'm going to put this in front of you. Cardi, can you please look at this photograph and tell me, do you recognize this?
Yes.
What is this photograph?
That is me out here in LA at a All-Star Weekend NBA game.
And does this picture refresh your recollection about what your hair color was that week?
Yes.
What color was it?
I'll say like a ashy, dirty blonde.
Can you see your nails in that photo?
Yes.
And were you wearing acrylic nails or some other type?
Acrylic.
And I think you testified yesterday that acrylic nails can last you up to 2 weeks, is that right?
Yes.
Are those the nails you had the entire time you were in LA?
Yes.
How would you describe those nails looking at them in the photo?
I'll say, to my taste, they're like kind of short. They're square, they're boxy. They have like stones, flat rhinestones in the middle. They're orangey.
I'm sorry, did you say the flat rhinestones were in the middle?
Yeah.
And how long would you estimate I know you said you feel like they were short, but could you estimate how long you feel like they were?
Like an inch, maybe less, an inch or so.
And what shape are they?
They like coffin square.
Are those the nails you were wearing on the day of the incident?
Yes.
Your Honor, I'd like to move this into evidence and publish it for the jury.
Any objection?
No.
Go ahead.
Cardi, do you remember, did you get your nails done before you came to LA or after?
It's most likely before LA.
But they were the same nails the whole time you were here?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I have no more questions for this witness, Your Honor.
All right, redirect.
So the photograph that we're looking at there, what date was the photograph taken?
I'm not sure the date, but I know it was that weekend of All-Stars and stuff.
Okay. And what time of day did this photograph, what time of day was it taken? Was it morning, afternoon, evening?
It had to be like around like 6 p.m., like whatever time like game start. It really depends. Like that week, it was just, I'm not sure, but it wasn't like a night. It was like probably in the afternoon or something.
And when you go out at night, do you change your clothing and fix yourself up to prepare for the evening? Were you dressed this exact way when you saw Dr. Finke on the date of the incident?
No.
So you changed your clothing completely different than this, correct?
Yes.
Could you have also changed your nails?
Objection, cultural speculation.
No. It's not that easy to change acrylic nails.
But you told us before that it would take about 2 hours to do that, correct?
Yes. But I know for a fact, I mean, if you could track down that whole week, I had these nails on, for sure.
Yeah. Your Honor, I would want to zoom in the photograph just to show the nails better than what we can see.
Can we do that?
With the focus on the left hand or right hand.
Well, that works, sir.
That's wonderful. Thank you. So if we look at that, that's your right hand, correct?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yes.
And if you wanted to scratch someone with those nails and cause them to have a cut to their face, you could do it with those nails, can't you? The nails that we see in this photograph, are they sharp in your opinion?
Objection, Your Honor.
Overall. Well, it's referring to the photograph now.
No, they are not sharp at all. Those are not sharp nails.
Okay. Now, you heard a witness, Tiara Malcolm, a few moments ago in the last 15, 20 minutes. She testified that she also had a cut to her face. Do you remember hearing that in court?
Yes.
So how did she get the cut on her face? If you know, if you know?
It wouldn't be for me.
Is it possible that when you were reaching over, you cut her face?
Objection. Assisting.
And the rhinestones that you see there, you consider those to be flat?
Yes.
And you consider yourself to be a freshman in 2018. Does that mean you just started your career in music and rapping and all that?
Yes.
So before 2018, you were not a rapper?
I was.
When did you first start?
I first started rapping in 2016, but I became a superstar for rapping in 2017.
Okay.
So, just being blessed then. So.
All right. And why was it, aside from what you've told us that you feel being a freshman and being pregnant, the two didn't match? Was there any other reason aside from that you wanted to keep your pregnancy a secret? Earlier, you testified that when you went to the doctor's office on the date of the incident, you wanted to keep your pregnancy a secret, correct?
Yes.
And the reason you wanted to keep it a secret was because you were a rapper, correct? Why did you want to keep your pregnancy a secret?
My career. I didn't tell my parents yet. I was just very overwhelmed.
And when you thought that your secret was being violated, it made you angry, correct?
Objection. Testimony last time.
Okay.
Yes, I feel like my privacy was completely being violated. I wouldn't want to be anything that had to do with my medical records or anything. Even if I do cosmetic surgery, I don't want people to be in anything that has to do with medical in your business. It's just especially something that is so sacred as your pregnancy is yours.
And you would do anything to protect that privacy, correct?
Objection, Your Honor.
Sustained.
And aside from your assumption that you were being recorded by Miss Imani Ellis, was there any other assumptions that you had at the time of the incident?
Objection, argumentative. This characterizes the testimony.
Sustained.
You had a belief, a state of mind, that Imani Ellis was recording you at the time of the incident, correct?
Objection, outside the scope of redirect. And
Sustained.
No further questions, Your Honor.
All right. Any redirect? All right. Any questions from the jury? I'm not seeing any hands. All right. You can step down then. All right. I think we're not going to have another witness before lunch, or I'm sorry, does plaintiff have another witness for after lunch?
We do not, Your Honor.
All right. Does plaintiff rest?
No, Your Honor.
Well, are you going to have a witness after lunch?
I would like to discuss this outside the presence of the jury.
All right. Okay, folks, we're going to take our lunch break now. We're going to resume back at 1:30. In the meantime, please don't discuss the case with anyone, including other jurors. Don't form any opinions or do any research. We'll see you at 1:30.
Yeah, it's thorough. All right, man. I'll catch y'all on the next one whenever they bring it back, man. They on lunch break. We'll be back after lunch, guys. I'm going to start a new live. Salute, salute. Make sure if you're not subscribed to the channel that you subscribe to the channel, man. Well, we back. I spoke too soon. I guess we ain't going nowhere.
I explained to him and the court this morning that I have 3 witnesses, which are Dr. Aziz Olahi, Ms. Parsi, and Michael Shok, and they are unavailable for today, and we wanted to call them out of order, requesting that the court allow them to testify on Tuesday.
Okay, well, you haven't made your offer of proof with respect to whether or not their testimony is relevant to anything?
Yes, Your Honor. So, may I do that now?
Well, I thought you said you didn't know what they were going to say.
I spoke to them.
When?
During the break.
Okay. And what are they going to say?
So Dr. Aziz Olahi is going to say that he had been advised there's a disturbance in the building. His assistant, Ms. Parsi, went upstairs to the 5th floor. He did not go to the 5th floor. Michael Shok was on the 5th floor as well.
Okay, let's start. Keep with the doctor. So what's he going to say?
Doctor is going to say that there was a disturbance in the building.
Okay, that's undisputed.
And that's it for him.
Okay, so we don't need him, right?
No.
Okay, so it's the next witness?
Ms. Parsi is his assistant. Went upstairs to find out what was going on and witnessed the confrontation between the 3 individuals with the 2 individuals and the person that intervened, Ms. Malcolm.
So she's going to testify as to what she saw, which includes the disturbance and
only.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Only what she saw, and it could go to the scratch on Ms. Malcolm's head. We can gain some information how that came about. I didn't discuss that with her. However, she was present during that piece. And Michael Shok was a patient that was on the 5th floor walking in the hallway, and he's a witness to the entire confrontation.
And so let's go back to when you identified these people.
They've been on the witness list for many months now. I'm not sure if it was the 2024 one, however, definitely in July it was there. I can check my records. They've known about this, and it's the same issue that they had, that we had.
And so when did you learn of Mr. Shok?
We learned of it when an investigator did investigation several months ago, at least several months ago, and found out that he was an actual witness, an eyewitness to the incident. Your Honor, the only witness list that I have is from July 25th of 2025. He's been on this witness list.
He's not on that one.
Yes, he is, Your Honor. I have a copy for the court.
Oh, okay. I see him.
Yeah.
Michael
Shok, Aziz Olahi, and Parsi are all on that one. Mr. Lamb and I had a conversation about this at length. We created this list together. He told me his witnesses. I told him my witnesses. He signed this. They've never objected to it one time till recently. And the only reason they've objected is to, I'm not clear why they want to do it. It seems to be very one-sided, that they can exclude our witnesses, but we can't exclude theirs. So I would ask the court not to exclude ours, since the court has not excluded theirs.
All right, what's Mr. Shok going to testify to?
Mr. Shok is going to testify that he was a patient at a different doctor's office on the 5th floor, and he was walking in the hallway to go to the bathroom, and he saw the incident himself with his own eyes.
All right, for the defense.
First, Your Honor, just so the record is clear, counsel did say that he could not continue with witnesses today. He did mention something about taking people out of order. I have told him that I don't think he has that right, and earlier today I mentioned that taking witnesses defense taking witnesses out of order is not the same thing as the plaintiff being unable to proceed with witnesses at the time of trial. As the court knows, trial was continued several times. The 2024 witness list, jointly filed, does not have any of these people. These people were first listed, if memory serves, in the July 2025 witness list, and we did object, but that ruling, that has never been heard by the court at this point. They were first identified in July 2025. We were not told what their potential testimony would be. We were told that Dr. Azizolaki.
Well, he's not testifying because he doesn't have anything to add.
Right. And the other ones, we were told there was one that was a receptionist and shot a guest. So we were not given any substance at all. At no point did they disclose that, and counsel was unable to disclose it this morning, and now he's making certain representations. The fact of the matter is, and I should also say that we are ready to proceed. We got two more witnesses, Dr. Rosenberg, who's the designated expert, and Dr. Finke. And we want to get this trial done, and we're ready to go.
Okay.
May I respond to one thing, Your Honor, please?
Go ahead.
So, in form interrogatory responses, back in 2022, the same way that the defendant responded and said there's two individuals who are witnesses, that is the same way that plaintiff responded. It's the same thing. And it's attached to plaintiff's opposition to defendant's request to produce witnesses at trial. It was filed with the court yesterday or the day before, and it has all of the discovery. I'm sorry, actually no. This one has the discovery of the defendant, but I do have the discovery of the plaintiff. It was used in this case by the opposing side. They knew that we had these witnesses that we didn't know their names. And the 2024 expert designation was not real because we had agreed to put the trial around this time, and I don't really remember doing anything with the witness list. That may be a list that they created and they filed. I definitely don't remember signing that. I don't think my signature would be on that document. So if they prepared something and filed it, I was not part of it. They just decided to file it on their own.
I was just going to say, what I think counsel is saying is that he did not identify any of these three people back in 2024. He's now contesting
2022.
Well, no, I'm talking about the joint witness list.
I think I understand, and so I think here's the issue: is it certainly would have been appropriate for both parties to have done the investigation at the outset of the case to identify who these witnesses were. That didn't happen. It sounds as though both sides engaged in investigative work after discovery was closed and identified new witnesses. I'm going to take plaintiff's counsel's representations at face value, and that they were recently identified. These witnesses were on the July 25 joint trial witness list. To the extent that they were identified, the people were identified after discovery was closed. I think it's appropriate that they be allowed to testify. But it's going to be on a short leash. And I indicated during the pre-trial conference that I am relatively liberal in the interest of expediting the process in case to call witnesses out of order. And so we'll suspend the plaintiff's case now. We'll start the defense case. But your witnesses need to be here Tuesday morning or they're not testifying.
I understand, Your Honor. Will defense be, they didn't give me 24 hours notice, it's fine, I'm not that picky. My question is, will Dr. Rosenberg and Dr. Finke be testifying this afternoon, so at least during the lunch hour I can do some preparation?
Your Honor, I got two voicemail messages which we can play, which were not particularly coherent from counsel, that said that he doesn't have witnesses.
Okay, I've already ruled on that. So
Yeah, no.
do you have witnesses for this afternoon?
Yes, and I advised him as soon as he told.
I'm not disputing the 24-hour notice.
Please stop interrupting.
Well, sorry, I was going to respond to the 24-hour notice. We did, in fact, tell him as soon as he said.
Do you have witnesses for the afternoon?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, very good. We'll see you then.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. They have to have a sidebar. I don't know, man. What y'all thinking about it? Ooh, Lord, we've been in here for a minute. What's up, Pressure? Look like they have to have a sidebar about the issue. Yeah, this might be a good stopping point for me. I done got tired anyway. Ooh, Lord. Yeah, I think I'm going to just start up a new live. We've been in here long enough on this live with this situation, man. I'm going to start a new live. Yeah, it's saying they still on lunch break. Yeah, I'm going to start a new live. I'll be back, guys. When they start back, I'll be back. Shout out to everybody in the building. I appreciate everybody pulling up. I most definitely appreciate everybody who rocked out this whole time. You know, shout out to y'all. Thank you, Karen. Absolutely, I appreciate y'all as well. I appreciate y'all as well. Amazing what you talking about. Trying to hit off this call so I can hear what's happening. Somebody type real quick. What just happened? This what's happening. I'm finna get up off of here, man. We've been in here long enough. I'm gonna start a new live. I'll be back when they come back. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. I'm gone.